Welcome back to the Crimeycade podcast. Looking like I'm going to sell in on StreamYard, as I think simplicity is best for me, and I don't have a rough time with an interface that isn't as user-friendly as other services. So going to start the night with this as I'm awaiting my guest to sell in. There's been a lot of recent chatter about Walmart announcing they weren't going to be selling physical copies of video games anymore in 2024. And titles have already started to be pulled. Other retail chains are expected to follow suit or have already begun doing so. This due to 70% of all video game sales in recent years being made from digital distribution. Game makers have been desiring the jump to fully digital for years, which has some advantages, where costs involved in making a physical copy are eliminated, but prevents customers from reselling old titles they lost interest in or don't play anymore. Game executives a decade ago have stated to great backlash that it should be illegal for a consumer to resell a game, that consumers are merely long-term renting their product and own nothing. One such person at Ubisoft got torn limb from limb when he stated customers should get comfortable with not owning their games. The elephant in the room about games being all digital and not having physical copies comes down to there being a day where you will lose access to your entire investment permanently. It's happened multiple times already. Remember Stadia or GameSpy? Yes, they're defunct. Even with Netflix, they've yanked shows and movies off its platform. If you paid money for the complete series, you won't have access to what you paid for. You would either have to buy the whole thing again if it were to show up on another platform, or download everything from, let's say, the Pirate Bay website. And even if the content stays online, the service could alter it to remove very recently deemed offensive content because some thin-skinned, mentally weak person threw a hissy fit or was told to be offended over something in the program. Funimation, you probably heard, is being bought out by Crunchyroll. Customers who bought a number of their favorite anime series off that media company will soon lose their entire media investment as a result. Yes, that Dragon Ball Z superfan that bought the complete series will be forced to rebuy the whole thing on the new service. You know, it's just like a robber breaking into your house and taking everything in your game room, only virtually. It can also be compared to your bank repossessing your car despite fully paying off the loan. And you have no recourse. You know, with every new game system that comes out, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they shut off access to the eShops at some point for their older systems. Steam also shuts off access to older versions of Windows. And yes, any company can terminate service with a customer without warning, cutting off your access to everything you bought from them. And to add more salt to the wound, as of today, a website that tracks the list of games you can no longer play, called delistedgames.com, has counted over 1,900 games spanning many consoles and systems that are gone. I couldn't imagine in a decade or two what gaming conventions will be like with vendors having no used games for sale with the retro community. It's a very bad deal. I certainly have a lot more love for the 8, 16, and 32-bit eras than what we have now. And that is a serious indictment of the 8th and 9th generations of console gaming, with the quality, fun, and evolution of today's titles lagging behind the past. So, we are now being joined by our guest for this evening. And here is a bit of an introduction.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% time, 100% reason to remember the time. Party people in the house, let's go. It's your boy JC. So, pass that thing, watch me flex.
And here he is, the one and only KingCamBlackMan Brandon Travis. So you got a lot of things on your plate. Let's run down everything you're into with the KingCam persona, and you sent me a list.
There's a whole. It's like Santa Claus. You got to like check it twice.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Primarily, you're a gamer first.
Oh yeah.
What else we got?
There's a lot.
Yeah, let's do a quick rundown here. You're into anime, you do cosplaying, you do conventions, you're vlogging, you stream, you do comics.
Yep.
Something called barista. Which I'm not sure what that is.
Making
it's coffee. Okay.
Making a lot of coffee.
That's what that is. Okay. Yes. All right. Well, let's go with the beginning. You've been doing this as a hobby. Now it's grown into something major. So, and I already asked the question, what all are you involved in as a gaming and media personality?
Honestly, it's really, and quite honestly, like, even before, if it's okay if I already mentioned Galloping Ghost already, if that's okay.
You haven't.
Okay. So
we just started.
Well, because before GGA, I did stuff at home a lot. So there was like, again, I love Pac-Man. Pac-Man is like one of my favorite game series of all time. And my first ever actual video game was Namco Museum 64, Nintendo 64. So at that time, I didn't know anything about Namco or anything. I just saw the game and I loved it. I remembered playing Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man constantly. Then after a while, I stopped playing my N64 and then I went to something else. But yeah, N64 is where it started for me. And, it's the 90s. So, stuff like that, Nintendo. Little by little, definitely Namco Museum started my days.
Did you have time for clacks?
Did I have time for what?
Clacks. That's the tagline. Is the 90s, and there's always a time for clacks. You said you're a friend.
I don't know if I necessarily had time for it. I mean, again, I was only like what, maybe 8, 9 years old. So I don't know what if I had time for. All I know is I just sat there on my butt and I played it. That's literally all I did.
Now, from the gaming side, we'll start off with that. What was your first experiences with video games? Arcade or console?
Console. Nintendo 64. It's again, just like I said, Nintendo 64 and Namco Museum 64 will go down as the way I started my gaming life. And there were a few other Nintendo 64 games that I played as well. I remember playing Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. I did there's a lot of stuff. Destruction Derby, California Speed. I played Rugrats Scavenger Hunt with my cousin.
Paused. We'll give him a chance to get back.
Stuff. What's up?
Yeah, your side paused for a second.
My side paused?
Yes.
Oh, no. We'll survive till the very end. We will.
I know. If you pause, I will keep going. If I pause, you keep going. But anyway.
I don't know if you caught all that.
Anyway.
If you want to list all that again.
Jeez. Somewhere in the middle, there was a little bit. California Speed, and there's a couple of other games that you mentioned, which I didn't catch because it paused.
I believe, if we're still good now, I believe they were Rugrats Scavenger Hunt. I said California Speed, and then I think the other one was Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, I believe. Yes.
Okay. So, what was the very first game you ever played?
Namco Museum. Namco Museum.
Which game on it?
Oh, which game on it? Pac-Man. I mean, hey, I had to start with the classic yellow dot, Pac-Man.
Okay. What was your first experiences with an actual arcade machine?
So actually, my first actual experience with the arcade was actually not Galloping Ghost Arcade. It was at a laundromat. Maybe when I was 16, 17 years old. I stumbled across my very first class of 1981 cabinet at a laundromat, I believe over in I believe in North Riverside. It was a laundromat. I think the laundromat is still there. The laundromat had a class of 1981 Galaga Miss Pac-Man combo, and that was actually my first time actually with an arcade machine. So I was like very younger at the time, just like teenage years, and I believe like I didn't know what it was. Then I realized they had Pac-Man on it, which is Miss Pac-Man. Then that's when I started playing it, played Galaga, and then yeah, class of 1981 was the first cabinet.
Okay. Now, currently at the Galpin Ghost, you currently have one world record that you still have. That game is Fozon.
Fozon.
What drew you to this title?
So I already knew. So what was funny about that is that I actually knew about Fozon before Galpin Ghost got their hands on it, because I played that on PlayStation 1, part of the Namco Museum Volume 3 collection, which had 6 games: Miss Pac-Man, Fozon, Tower of Draga. I believe Dig Dug was there, Pole Position 2, and Galaxian, I believe. But I stumbled across Fozon in that collection. I didn't know what that game was when I first got it on PS1. I just said, this game looks really cool, looks artistic, so I'm going to play it. And of course, when again, I was younger, so I was bad at it. And then after that, I didn't play it again until like very long up to now, I should say, when Galpin Ghost got their hands on it. So
You used to have some other scores. Pac and Pal was the most recent one you had that was taken. You also had House High and Valkyrie for a bit. Was there some others that you were competitive in?
There were some other. I had a whole bunch of names on card. Well, I had a good amount of names on cards. I had. There was a bunch. There was Class of 1981 games. There was Samurai Showdown 2019. There was Pac and Pal, like you said. I think there's so many. I can't remember every single one. Oh, I think we had Cheeky Cheeky Boys. I had Desert War. Again, there was so many. Like it was honestly like for me when I play these games, when I come to Galpin Ghost, I just play until I can't, and then that's it. It's sometimes it's just I give it my all until the game hates me. That's what I do.
So how many hours do you typically go visit? Because how long I go.
No, yeah, you go more, and that was the other thing I was going to get into it. Like everybody who's especially for the crew who's Gamer of the Year, you guys all know who you are. You guys go there way more than I do, and it's like I wish I could have that time. I only get to go literally on Mondays, and then sometimes I'll sneak in like maybe an occasional Friday. Like there have been times where I'll randomly pop a visit to Brookfield on Fridays and I won't say anything. I'll just show up, grab my music, grab my headphones, sit at any game, practice, and then just relax. Because there are times where when I don't want to be here at home, I'll just go there. So it's like my getaway spot. It's not just for me getting high scores sometimes. Sometimes I like going to the Ghost just to like get away from like things that affect my life, like drama and all that stuff. So
and Jose says he's watching from his Xbox.
I saw his wait, hang on. Before we continue to the next question, if that's okay. I saw
one here.
I was gonna say he mentioned a few things. Let's see. He mentioned I got if it's cool with you if I'm helping you out, I got the chat on my phone too. So I'm helping you.
He said,
moderate it.
He said this first. Whoever the demon girl is.
You know what? we're not even going to talk about the cosplay side yet because we're still on the gaming side.
That's later. Yes.
Well, we're not even going to get to. But Jose, thank you for acknowledging that meme. We'll talk about how that came up in a little bit. But thank you for acknowledging that. But anyway, yeah. So definitely, Galloping Ghost is a great arcade. And, again, it's not just Galloping Ghost. I like going to any arcade that has anything like that now because I'm used to the environment. I'm used to all the games. And it's just nice. It's just nice because, you're just at a machine for about hours and hours upon end. And then, when you're playing, you find stuff, and then that's when you play again. And then, but yeah, for me, it's like relaxation. It's weird, but it's like relaxation.
And it's my escape.
Exactly.
My escape from all the drama of the real world.
Sometimes it helps. Staring at a screen for like 17 hours to about 8. God forbid if anybody can do 17 hours. Shout outs to you. But to anybody who can last that long, great focus and great concentration is all y'all got. I wish I had that because I don't.
Well, I didn't say it was going on a machine for that long went all perfect. I mean, when I retook JJ Squawkers, like I once you see it first time, but then the next several playthroughs I messed up quite a bit, and then I had to walk away from the machine.
I walk past JJ Squawkers like almost all the time, and it's like I look at it, I'm literally like, and then I'm like I just walk past it, just wondering who's got that number, because I swear that I've never played JJ Squawkers before either, so it's crazy that game always that's one of the game in the building that gets attention. So
Well, that was the T20 game. That it went on the arcade floor for a bit, and then actually no, it was debuted, then it was picked for a T20 game, then it left the floor. I got good at JJ Squawkers and practice at home, but I had to wait a whole freaking year to get my hands on it again because I had played through it, could beat the game both cycles. When is the game gonna get on the floor, or are you gonna take it to, I don't know, the Pinball Expo so I can do a playthrough, take the house high world record? I had to wait an entire year. A little bit frustrating.
It is, but that comes with all the practice.
And I asked for them to bring it out. It's like, I asked for access to the machine. It's like, had to keep waiting.
It's crazy. I haven't touched Fozon. It's weird. I'll walk by Fozon and then I'll play Rescue because I'm that weird. I'm just like by Fozon 1 minute. I look at it and then I'm like, I go right to Rescue, and then I just start playing Rescue for some reason. But yeah, no, I know when it comes to stuff like the Monday Mystery Game, definitely a very fun thing that I've only been a part of for about a couple of years just by dressing with this bad thing on all the time. And honestly, it just started as just me being, just nice and fancy and just fun and being a part of the crowd and having a good time. Now, at this point, after 3 years, it's become like now a thing. Like people are wondering what color Blazer is going to be like, the next color or something like that. And I'm like, I'm working on it, but these things aren't cheap.
But where did you get that jacket?
Believe it or not, this was literally a Spirit Halloween jacket. This is a Spirit Halloween coat.
Wow.
They only had certain selective few of these, and now they don't have them anymore. I tried to, one of my other friends tried to get one this last Halloween, and they didn't have them anywhere in the area. Like you couldn't find one of them. So now it's like once in a lifetime now. You
couldn't get it on Amazon?
I mean, you're probably not. You probably won't get the same design, but I mean, you'll get something similar to that. But I mean, it's not going to be like that. You won't see it again. Anja.
Well, that looks more than just. That looks like a fancier jacket. I mean,
my dream. Actually, he froze. There he goes again. The freezing. He always freezing. All right, he'll be back. Give him a minute.
I'm back.
There he goes.
I don't know what's going on.
It's just gonna be man ongoing. Anyway, no, I was going to say, so I actually have a dream blazer that I want to wear at Galloping Ghost Arcade in the future. I don't know if it would ever happen. I don't know who could make this, but my dream blazer would have to be a black one, same design, but on the back, I would love to have the actual Galloping Ghost Arcade logo. I would love that, but that's something that I would have to talk to Doc about that because, when it comes to having that logo, you have to go through, stuff with Doc, like for stuff like that. So that's like a conversation I would love to have with him about like doing something like that. It would just be really cool to represent the arcade in that way since people know me best for dressing like that. And it would just be cool. But again, that's just something I would have to talk to Doc about on the side privately.
Is that what Chris Vulture had to do?
Fat Chris?
Yes, because he
Maybe?
had the logo on the back of that vest.
Maybe, but again, I don't know. It depends on the when and the where of it. So I don't really know, but it depends. We'll see. We'll see. Again, that's just a conversation I haven't talked to him about, but it one day we'll see. We'll see.
And he also do speed running, to some extent. Although I'm not sure. You said you speed run Cuphead.
Wackiest game ever. You've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've watched basically the playthroughs of it online.
It's a very wacky game. It's a wacky game. Like Cuphead was released in 2017, and then when I first learned about it, I was like, this looks cool. But that was at the time I didn't want to speed run it. I just wanted to learn it. Like just see what the thing of it is and the art and the bosses and the style and all that. Played it for a good long while. Mini Beach, who will probably watch this later, and he'll be like, yeah, he plays that game all the time. He knows, like, there was one time I'll come to his house, I'll get on his Xbox, and then like I'll just I'll literally I'll literally just turn on his Cuphead on his console and just start playing it for like hours upon hours. And he'll be like, "Are you done yet?" And I'm like, "No." So yeah, definitely one of my favorite games. DLC came out for it years later, and it was wild how the DLC pretty much topped the original game, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, it's crazy how something that the original product topped that came out later, and it was just like, dude, wow, like, holy cow, I can't believe something that came out years later topped its original product. So it's nuts.
We know how long Mortal Kombat 11 was updated. It's like updated for years.
Mortal
Up
Kombat 11?
until a year ago. Yes. They kept adding stuff to it. New characters.
It was the same case. I know the current game is it's about to get an update of its own too really soon. So it's like, you got what is it? The John Cena looking character is about to come out. So
Peacemaker.
That.
Well, you brought it up. We're gonna jump on it. So yes, MK1 did announce something like they're gonna add 20 new characters to the game. Which they've needed to put out something because they're getting, for the same period of time that Mortal Kombat 1 was out, Tekken 8 was selling copies of its game at a much faster rate in the first 3 weeks of release. And there's, I looked on YouTube today, and there's some videos about Peacemaker, and then the 20 new characters, and then some additional offensive moves for the existing characters. There's still a bunch of videos where it's asking, is MK1 dying? Is MK1 this, that, or the other? Is just a lot of negativity. So you've seen that montage. The first episode I did with JP, I posted a montage of clips from several different YouTubers commenting about MK1 versus Tekken 8. You had an insight, you told me off air, that I don't think anybody's considered. What did you observe that we're not getting?
So you're asking, like, what do you think, like, you mean like what do you think I think what they're missing, or like, what is it like?
There we go. You're back.
You're back again.
You were alluding to the size of the studio, or what the studio was behind the game. Tekken 8 has Bandai Namco. Mortal Kombat used to have Bally Midway, but now it's NetherRealm. The magnitude of studio is Bandai Namco's been around for decades. NetherRealm, maybe not as long, because I guess NetherRealm took over the MK1 franchise after the last Mortal Kombat arcade game release.
So, in my opinion, both companies do good, but I think there's always something that one-ups the other. So, again, with Mortal Kombat 1 getting You Can't See Me, it kind of in my opinion maybe got them an extra one up, but again, that's just what they got. But you also again have to look at what Tekken 8 has, because again, all these fighting games mix and match to get these things, to get this, to get that, but at the end of it all, they're still all going to be playable. But I can tell when they all try to one up each other in certain ways. It always depends on how they advertise their DLC or anything that's like an upcoming character. Definitely something you have to look out for when you are looking at these things, because they always one up. I think they definitely do one up each other. Like, there's probably no secret to it. I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they one up each other. It's hard for me to pay attention to it, but they definitely do it. They don't hide it. That's for sure. They don't hide it.
Is there any other reasons that you think? No, that pretty much covers it. You think there's any? So, where do you see Mortal Kombat the next? Oh gosh, by the end of this year.
So, what do you think? Like, what do you think? I see them as terms.
You think they're going to recover? Do you think they're going to recover and be competitive again with Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6?
Honestly, yes, I do, because like again, it'll still go down as another top fighting series that everybody loves, and NetherRealm will do whatever it takes to keep their product really nice and clean, and they'll continue to add whatever they have to do to keep it alive. That's how that kind of world works. They want to keep something nice and relevant so they don't lose people's interest. So I personally do believe that they're going to keep it up no matter what other fighting game will do. They'll keep it up no matter what. They'll do whatever they have to do. So yes.
And of course, MK1 will be the game on St. Patrick's Day at Blade Wars Tournament at the Goblin Ghost Arcade in Brookfield. 5 p.m. is the start time for the tournament. The pre-show, well, they might have pushed it back to 2 p.m., but I'm still going to say 3 p.m. start time for the pre-show. If they start an hour earlier, so be it. But after that, the MK1 cabinet will leave the Goblin Ghost Arcade floor. So if you have not been to the arcade to play MK1, you better get going soon.
Well, all I will say about the upcoming Bloody Wars is this. In regards to the upcoming tournament, with it being Mortal Kombat 1, it will be a good one. Guaranteed. The only thing that I can only take away from this is that I guess, I could say that, I don't know, no matter how much you rebuttal a case or, use your time to tell what your availability is, I personally think that some certain people didn't deserve to get what they got despite what their own availability is, and I'm just going to keep it at that. But they'll figure out what that means later. Anyway, so
I'm wondering what that means.
Don't worry, you'll find out.
Somebody's overrated. Is that what you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, but the point is it's going to be a great tournament, and I think I'm going to be looking forward to it. Personally, in my opinion, it's going to be a good one. It'll be a good way to send off Mortal Kombat 1, in my opinion. And I think that's honestly going to be a great tournament. No matter what happens, I think it's going to be good. I'll still be there to comprehend and have fun and do what I do. So yeah, I see Norbert. Nah, Norbert, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's move on. Let's keep going. Let's go to the next topic. Let's go to something that we'll look back. What's the next one?
So, gosh, since we're on Blade Wars, I might as well go through all the news with Blade Wars.
Mm-hmm.
One of your colleagues has stepped aside. Samantha Cohen has announced that due to, I guess, time pressure or other things, she had to step away. Now she may come back in the future, but she had to step away. She missed the last tournament. She was a great interviewer. Even though I got my butt kicked at so many Blade Wars tournaments, her interviewing me was worth going there and losing.
Well, the only thing I can say about Miss Sam is this. She was probably one of the key points in Bloody Wars, next to myself, being Josh's bloody right-hand man. The only thing I could just say is this. We're gonna hope, because of the internet's algorithm nowadays, that we're gonna hope with Sam Gone Bloody Wars will still be a mostly. We're gonna hope that it is, but in my honest opinion, if you take away the one of the most lovely, attractive, good-looking interviewers on the team, well, I don't know how that number is going to survive, in my opinion, especially once again with how the internet is nowadays. Again, the internet is so weird now. You see a woman on camera, viewers. Well, the internet has changed so much now. If you see a woman on camera, viewership goes up. Like it goes up.
I think that's always been that way, even before the internet.
Well, even still, I'm talking like how it is today. But hopefully, like I said, Bloody Wars will be able to pull through without Sam. And I don't know if maybe Josh is going to replace her. I have no idea. But
someone may volunteer and want to get in on the action.
I'm pretty sure I'll be doing it, because there's probably I don't think there will be anybody else. I don't think, Norbert, the internet always has been weird, but it's again that algorithm that changes. But I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is I'll be doing the interviewing for Josh, because I did it before. He criticized me on it, but I mean, I'm not going to let that bother me. But I'm pretty sure
I could even do the interviewing.
Huh?
I could even do the interviewing. I'm that good.
Well, we'll see what happens come the tournament. We'll see what happens come the tournament, though. We'll see. We don't know. But I'm pretty sure I'll be doing it, because again, the bloody right-hand man and all that. Definitely going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. And it'll still be a good tournament. I mean, I played in the Mortal Kombat tournament at Galloping Ghost before this. Again, I got eliminated. Yeah, but
who won that, by the way? Do you remember?
Who won?
Yeah,
Shady won. I believe it was GGA Shady. I think it might have been Shady. Maybe. It was definitely a member of Team GGA. I know that, because it wasn't anybody who was not a member of Team GGA. I think it was Shady. Again, I don't know. I know he wasn't there, but I think
it wasn't a Blade Wars tournament at the time. No. And gosh, it was the last day of the Pinball Expo too. I just came in. I know the Mortal Kombat tournament was going. Okay, I'm going to leave the Pinball Expo. I'm going to drive over to Galloping Ghost and take a look at this MK1 tournament cabinet. And I didn't get there at the start, but so I couldn't enter. But
you were there somehow. I
drove out. Got there a little after 7 o'clock after the tournament started with my brand new belt.
So really quick, Norbert mentioned something in the chat that I want to point out again. That again, this was brought up before in another tournament, and he mentioned helping out with commentary. And this is what I want. So first of all, being rant side of me right here, I wanted Sam to be a part of the commentary most of the time. My plan per se was I wanted her and I to switch off, so I wasn't, first of all, running my mouth on a dry throat. I could get water. I could get away from the microphone and have somebody to work with. Right, exactly. And not even just Sam, like Norbert offering, and then we had like Damien on the mic. Like we run a tournament, yes, but the thing with a tournament is participation other than playing the game. Because aside from me, we have other people that want to offer that, again, it gets me off the microphone because I can't. I mean, yes, I love to do commentary, but I can't be on a microphone, more than a certain amount of time because my voice will start to I'll start to be like, hey, stop that. So again, like having Norbert on the mic is nice sometimes. Having Damien is cool. We've had Damien. I think we had Damien. I don't know if we've had any of Damien's like kids on the mic, but I don't know if that happened. Like I said, it just gives me time to step away from the mic if I need to take a break, and it helps because it helps me to get through the rest of the tournament because I got to help Josh with other stuff. All I'm just saying is Bloody Wars is me and Josh and Sam and Chris, formerly Sam. But the thing that it is that I want everybody to participate because it's a group effort. Not just me and Josh, but it's a group effort to us, our players, and everybody else who participates. So it's just not, I just don't want to be all the time on the mic because I need breaks.
Yes, and I do commentary too. I've done a lot of wrestling commentary over the years and did some at the last tournament. Anyway, so there's a so speaking of the champion, Strider U, we have this coming up.
Oh man.
Ooh, I need to hide this banner here. There you go. Now that looks better.
I'm kind of mad actually about that.
What? Why is that?
I don't know if I'm even gonna be there for that. I want to see that because this is actually the first. Now the best.
They're gonna stream it.
What? Oh, they're gonna stream it.
Yes, the same way I did it. They planned to stream this. I basically
he's frozen. Give him a minute once again.
Mount to put your cell phone on it and then stream from the cell phone.
Okay.
And then put it on a tripod.
Okay.
Kind of like how I did it with JP Pitts and got beat somehow.
Oh, okay.
Same time. Yes.
Oh man.
Spread that out. There we go.
So I think so in regards to that best of 7 stuff, I think it's good. And more shout outs actually to Norbert for putting because at first the best of 7 stuff, it was originally just best of 7 game till the end, whatever. But then afterwards, yeah, and then it changed. Like didn't you start the best of 7 thing?
Yes, I okay, we're gonna go back a few years.
Okay.
Back years ago, I've kind of, I was talking about, Doc Mack was threatening to mothball the 10X title, which eventually did happen. I cut a promo years ago. Basically, just kind of urging all these top gamers to compete for the 10X. And basically also saying that if I was there every week, I would show them how it's done in competing for a championship belt and how prestigious it was. That stirred up hornet's nest, of course. Kind of the Shima players, which would include the posse of Jamie Tibbetts, Fred DeHart, kind of got annoyed with this. They started, I guess, trying to take down scores or something. I had issued a best of 7 challenge to Fred DeHart, and he declined it, claiming that it was not civil.
I mean, maybe
there's nothing more civil than competing on a video game than just, I don't know, just having a fist fight on the street or something.
Well, maybe Fred, maybe there might. I mean, everybody has lives. I mean, I get it. Being challenged is something, but it. Fred DeHart is still human. He
Yeah.
still has a schedule, and like all the shmup gang, like um, like all of them have schedules. Like it's just like me. Like those guys, Fred, Jamie, Matt Walt, all of them, like they all have, it's like we're all playing games, but it's like I say it all the time when I'm at the arcade. We all have lives. Like we can't do it forever sometimes because our actual lives come first. And it's like,
Good grief. Start
I
over. Start over your answer. It froze on us again.
oh no, it keeps freezing on us. Okay, so I was going to say, the Shmup Gang, Fred, Jamie, Matt, all of that, all of them, they have schedules. They have human IRL schedules that they have to get their stuff done. And
Right.
believe me, they want to come in and destroy sometimes at the games like these shmups that they get at GGA. But there's like those once again, those IRL difficulties that come in the way. And they'll probably get mad about it. And I mean, yeah, it happens, and that's just part of life. Like, believe me, if there comes a day where Doc gets a game that I really like, on Monday Mystery Game, and I'm at home either sick or I had to work, and I see it from wherever, yeah, I'll be mad. But I mean, like, it won't stop me from coming in like the very next day or like on a Friday and just coming in just to play it for a score and then just go home. It will never stop me because like I never give up. But it's just, I just come in and play it eventually. And that's what they always do too. Like it's the same thing when we got Desert War. Like I played Desert War, played a good score. Yeah, I had the top spot for like about a slight while. And then Matt Walters came in and whoosh, like it was gone within like maybe like 2 or 3 days. Because again, he knows how to play shmups. So it just goes without
That's it.
saying that the schedule sometimes can play a reverse card and be like, hey, so I have a free day. I can come down here. And I've noticed that nowadays with some of the other regulars. Like you've been coming down, I think, more. And then there have been times where they said on the Monday Mystery that again, Matt has been coming in. And again, you don't know when they're gonna come in. Like it's like very unexpected. So
Well, they're local. I have a 200-mile commute.
yeah, you're far.
There's a little difference.
I think you are very far.
200 miles and had to get a hotel room every time.
Mhm.
Currently, there's no Airbnb. There's no Gulping Ghost Airbnb that I know
No.
of. I don't know
No, there's not.
if they get control of the apartments above Canton. I don't know if they'll convert it to an Airbnb or if they're going to convert it to something else, or at least get started on the Gulping Ghost second floor.
Oh man, shout outs to Doc for doing that. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. There was talk about it from him in the last couple of Monday Mystery Games about that second floor thing, and I'm actually excited to see how that's going to go because that building's been around for even longer before I was being a part of the whole thing, and I really want to see what he's got in store. I mean, first things first, Canton's on the horizon. And lo and behold, little old me peeking in the window, I see Valkyrie no Densetsu in the building, with a new marquee and a new arcade cabinet, and it looks great. And I'm over here just up against the glass, like, oh, why is it not open? And I'm just like, man. So, like, because I'm itching to play that game again, and hopefully, Canton is not that far off. But the second floor thing's gonna be insane. Like, I'm gonna love that.
So on my timeline, it came up a photo. I spotted a photo of what Canton looked like a year ago. So they've been working on this it's been more than a year under
Very long.
construction. Yes. The front room appears to be done. What's in the back, they're still working on because I did see a door open when last time I was there, and there was construction work going on in there. So it's not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Doc is planning to open all of Canton all at once or stages of it. At this point, I kind of think maybe he should open sections of it at a time because he's, gosh, busting out the seams for space right now. In fact, there's another little piece of construction going on in another section where they're going to eliminate a room and have some room for more games.
If I could take a guess when Canton actually could arrive. By the way, I can't wait for Canton at all because I was a part of the last building expansion. I've never been a part of those ceremonies because it's so different than T20 and all the other stuff that I'm usually a part of with Galloping Ghost. But being a part of a building expansion was actually really cool because seeing Doc cut it open with a sword was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. Probably the best ribbon cutting I could see in my entire life. I could also look at that over and over because that's the most epic thing ever. But I'm very excited for Canton because again, I was a part of the last building expansion, which I forgot the name of that one. I don't know if you remember the last name of that one.
Eric Colinaire.
I think that was
expansion.
What it was. Yeah, that one. So I was a part of that maybe 2 years ago. I don't know how long it was ago. Like a very long time ago.
I want to be there for when they open.
When they open, he
froze. Doc gives me some sort of warning. Uh-oh. Well, I'll wait for you to come back here.
There we go. We're back. I think we're back again.
Yeah, I'm watching myself. Yes, I want to be there when Canton opens.
Yeah.
However, Doc is always the element of surprise type of person. So it's just going to be a surprise open when he does open it. But I want to be there when it opens.
I want to be there too. Like, I'm afraid. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm afraid that I'm personally afraid that the Canton, I said that right. Canton expansion might be on a day where I might have to be at work, and that would really be hard because it might fall into my work schedule, and if it does, that's just something that I have to accept. And hey, I'll still be there, like for seeing it in person. But if I miss the ceremony, I miss the ceremony. But I
have to watch it on stream.
Probably have to watch it on stream, but we don't know the date yet. We don't know nothing. So we have to all just kind of pretty much wait, which I'm fine with doing. One of the reasons why Doc is also really cool, because you mentioned the element of surprise, and that's one of the reasons why Doc is awesome, because he definitely knows. I think he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to Monday Mystery Games, and that's why I like being there for them, because I could be looking at the tarp and I'm like, maybe it's this game. No, maybe it could be this game. And then literally once that tarp comes off from him and Tom, then I'm like, oh, wait, I'm wrong. But I'm still enjoying it because that's just the fun of it. Doc is really good about surprise. And it's one of the reasons why I like going to Monday Mystery too. It's also the reason why I like coming to the arcade as well, because it's like when he's walking around, there could be a surprise anywhere. And he does. And, it could be anything. And that's why I like it. It's just one of the reasons why I like being a part of its world. But aside from Galloping Ghost Arcade, I'm a part of a couple of other different worlds outside of that.
Yeah. I'll get to that in a moment. I should ask you this. Game 1000's coming up.
Oh, man.
What do you think will be the game number 1000?
Oh, God.
What do you hope it is, I guess?
Well, oh, man. Honestly, I think what Doc should do for game 1000, I think it needs to be, I think it should be something, there's no title for it or a name of the game. I think it should just be something that we'll all look at it like when we're there or if we're watching the stream and be like, wow, we made it all the way there and we got this. Like, I think it's going to be one of those games where it's just going to just blow our minds. It really should be. And I think that is definitely what will be in store. I mean, maybe it might be something else, but I couldn't even give a guess, because with us being still so far away from the number right now, like we're like maybe upcoming Monday, we're heading toward what? We're heading toward
972 will be the next one, but they're going to have to do some doubles if they're going to put game 1000 out on anniversary day, because that's Doc's current goal right now.
I'm really wondering if I'm pretty sure I believe in him, but with all these other things going on, like again, you got T20, you got all the other events that Doc wants to run, but I'm pretty sure he's keeping it rocking and rolling because I believe in him. He's been doing a great job, I think, running the show, and he's always got something that I'll leave happy no matter what the time. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't even know.
I know
Is
what
that
it
our
is.
team game?
I got to get to that story really soon in the podcast before Jose keeps posting memes. I also saw Josh in the chat.
Yes.
I also saw Josh in the chat. So yes, what up, Josh? But yeah, pretty much. I think game 1000 should be something that will blow our minds away. But the thing is that's the hardest question to answer. Is I just don't know what it could be because I've been a part of Monday Mystery Game for about 2.5 years, and I've been there for some things that I didn't think would come on the floor, and things I've never heard of, games that I like speculated and talked to my coworkers and be like, I wonder what this game's going to be, and like just stuff that's like it's just like crazy. So 1000 could be just anybody's game. I don't know specifically, but
I got some theories.
Something good. Something honestly though, something will blow our minds, and that's nothing but Doc has done, but just leave us speechless with games he gets. So
here's a couple of theories I have off the top of my head. Game 1000 could be Dark Presence, the release of Dark Presence, the long-awaited fighting game in a finished form. Now they got that new program. They got they hired that new programmer who developed the fighting engine that they've been talking about the last couple of weeks on the Monday Mystery stream. So
yeah, I remember the new programmer, and that's really cool. They got that.
If it's not Dark Presence, let's say something that is very rarely seen because it's a prototype. It could be a game like Marble Madness 2, which was never officially never released, but they found that one, and now they've managed to convert a cabinet or two to Marble Madness 2, which is, or it could be a game like the unreleased but recovered because some programmers got the ROMs and managed to find the board that it originally ran on, Sky Skipper. They have to find one of the prototype boards that were converted to Popeye and converted back to Sky Skipper. Now, one other theory. It could be a game that's been lost to time for the last few decades and somebody finally found it. A game like Bouncer. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if you mentioned this one to me. I don't know if you mentioned, I think you might have mentioned this one. I'm familiar with the other two you've told me about. Was it Skyscraper and
Sky Skipper?
Marble Madness 2?
Marble Madness 2, yeah.
Those two, I think, could be high possibilities because one of the things, but again, even though I'm about to say what I'm going to say is true, but again, Doc always proves us wrong because, he's unpredictable like that. So one of the things that could happen, because I know one of the cabinets, I always look at the Nintendo row every time when I go past it, seeing Donkey Kong and Popeye, Super Mario Brothers cabinet, all that. And one of the things I haven't seen in a Monday Mystery Game in a while is a Nintendo cabinet. So maybe that might be speculation to seeing that, I think that's the Skyscraper one that could be a Nintendo. That's
Skipper. Sky Skipper.
That one could be up here. But again, it just goes back to that we don't know because it could be something completely different. Like, was I expecting like that day, actually not even that one day, 2 days, Fozon. I remember the day Fozon was unveiled. I was playing a hardcore title match with Brad on Spy Hunter, and Brad checks the chat and the stream, and he's like, and I asked him, I was like, hey, what's the Monday Mystery Game? And he's like, oh, it's some game called Fozon. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I literally dropped the match, crazy thing to do. But I dropped the match and I peered over and I was like, no way, he got frozen. So I was in disbelief that day. And that's when I thought to myself, like, okay, that was a good move. That was really good. I wasn't expecting that because I always played it at home and, I was happy. But then fast forward before C2E2 last year, Pack and Pal came out and I was gone. I was like, what? So again, he's unpredictable with these Monday Mystery games. So, and that's again what makes it so good. But with 1,000, it's anything. It could be anything.
I've managed to predict some of these games, but just a small handful. Early days of Monday Mystery, that if somebody guessed what game they was hiding under the tarp, they would give a day pass as a prize, and I won a couple of those. Wild Western. Actually, it's Wild Gunman, actually, but
I was gonna say, I think there's already a Wild Western on it's by Taito, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, that's by Taito. He's thinking of, Wild Gunman. There you go. You got it right.
Wild Gunman. There we go. He had a retypo. There you go.
That
Jose.
uses 9mm film strips. Somebody has this. I know there's a video. There's a video on YouTube of the game being played and somewhere in the country, probably out west somewhere. But I never knew that there was a predecessor to the NES game, and Nintendo did a video version, a real video game version of Wild Gunman when they originally did this. Hey, you know what? Wild Gunman, using those film reels, predates Mad Dog McCree.
Mad Dog. I was there for that.
Wow.
Mad Dog McCree. Great. I was horrible at it, but it was a great game.
I'm surprised that they managed to figure out doing a light gun shooter using movie reels back in the early 70s. That had to be a feat of engineering back then that nobody's
ever done it. I liked they have another one of those too. I believe it's Crime Patrol. Same guys that did Mad Dog McCree, I believe, right?
Right.
Yeah, that one's good too. Same thing. Like it's wild how those what is it called? Those type of games, those
light gun, Laserdisc.
Laserdisc, thank you. That's the word. Those are really cool. I'm horrible at playing those for a decent score, but just watching like the footage of it is so cool. So definitely something very nice that you love to see. But again, 1,000, honestly, I can't even give a straight answer because it could be anything. It could literally be anything. And that's, again, why I want to be there for that Monday Mystery, because it'll be something that I was a part of that we'll all never forget. Will it be Dark Presence? Maybe. But maybe, who knows? Maybe that could come before 1,000. Like that's, and again, that's the thing with it. Everything could change. But again, that's why I want to keep going, because I want to know what's going to happen. So we'll see.
All right. So we're going to move on from the gaming side for a bit. We'll circle back to Play Wars at some point, just because, I got to talk about promos and stuff. But going to the comics. So the Has Been Hotel. What is it about?
Okay. Don't tell me you got a clip of me actually doing one of my high. Is that one actually going to work? Or is that in the beginning?
What I picked was the highest viewed video you have on your YouTube page. So we'll go ahead and let's take a look at it.
If it plays. Oh, man.
Annoying.
I'm kind of hungry.
I don't care, starve.
I wasn't talking to you. Whatever. I'm just gonna grab a bite from me.
A what from where?
Oh my god. I can't with this comic.
I'm still so good.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
It's a hologram, you deaf!
I love it!
Oh man. The Rolling Thunder 2 ending music.
Oh God, I can't believe
Really
he
good
just did that right in front of me. I will never be able to unsee that ever again.
There's
Oh
another.
man. Well, what do you know?
So, you voiced the character Alistair. So that was called Just Grab a Bite.
Yeah.
So what is the Has-Been Hotel all about?
So the basic premise, I'm gonna give this the quick explanation because it's again too way long for words. Has-Been Hotel is about a character named Charlie who's the princess of hell, and she has a she's got a idea to have this hotel to rehabilitate sinners. So basically, she's trying to. I think it's like she's trying to prove that she's trying to prove that sinners can be redeemed and stuff like that. Basically, it's just a wacky demon-esque cartoon that actually became a real show this year on Amazon Prime. Had a full first season. I've seen it and it's great. But pretty much before the show even aired to Amazon, there are people that try to do fan voice acting of these characters, and they give it their best shot. And that's what I did. That was I think that's my second comic that I've done a comic dub for, and that's what it's called. It's called comic dubs when you do voice acting. So voice acting, comic dubs kind of stuff. And basically I went in blind on 2 comics, and I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know what the reaction's going to be, but I went for it. And lo and behold, that second comic with Alistair, the radio demon, and Vox, the TV demon, skyrocketed in at first it started with maybe a couple of thousand views, but then throughout a year, it went from a few thousand to 20,000. And then it skyrocketed. It somehow hit 100,000, almost now 200 to 300,000 in a year. And honestly, it was the first time I checked on that video, and I look back and I see all the comments, all the funny comments, the appreciation. There was so much of it, and I didn't know how to react. I was like, oh my God, I made a viral video for the first time in a decade. And yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. It was insane.
And the second video that's in second place is 32,000 views. Now, I did not load that up in this system, but there's another animated. No, it was animated. It was an animated feature of some sort.
Oh, it's animated? Is it on my channel?
Yes, it's on your channel. In fact, I'm going to go find it now.
It was
KingCamBlackman.
I didn't think it was. I don't think it was animated. Was it?
I believe it was. Let me see. I'm going to sort by most popular. It was called Warrior Wear Tuned Episode 1.
Oh yeah, so that one, that one's actually not mine. That was that's actually a animated series. I wasn't in it, but I got the permission of that creator to upload that. I forgot his name from many years ago. I think it's in the credits, but basically I got his permission to upload all of those. So I pretty much uploaded all of them, vice versa, from his permission, and then yeah. That was how those came around. I see Allison Dearwell in the chat. I also saw Vaggie as well. Hello, darlings. I see you guys in there. But yeah, those are friends of mine. Those are close friends of mine that know that I do that Alistair voice acting thing. And they're not the only ones. There's plenty more people that do that. So there's a little community. That's why coming up the convention season, which we'll get to that topic later, but it ties.
That's next on the list.
Yeah. But yeah, so finishing up with the voice acting, unless there's more questions to it. I went in blind with it, and I just did it for entertainment and fun. I did it just to I hit my mic.
You're good.
I did it just for entertainment and just to have a good time. I'll even do it at my work until they stopped me from doing it because of reasons. But at my job, I would pretend to be Alistair, and I'd be like, "Welcome, what can I get started for you, darling?" And then just like continue to hit him with it. There was one time, I don't know if there was any times. There was one time on a shift where somebody actually thought I was the original pilot voice actor of Alistair from the cartoon. Like, that's how bad my voice sometimes is, that I nail it. So that's how good it is. It's bad to be good.
So you also, speaking of the conventions, you do video logging or video blogging and create some skits. You do cosplay at these conventions. So tell me about some of these conventions that you've been attending and playing characters at.
It all pretty much started when in 2011, actually, low key, when I cosplayed as Zack Ryder, back when he was known as woo woo woo, you know it, gimmick at the time. And
Zack Ryder.
what happened was I went in blind with the costume, and people loved it, and it got a reaction. Fast forward past that, I'm cosplaying. The most recent cosplay I've done is pretty much Bray Wyatt, who we all know we lost just not too long ago. And it still hurts me that we lost him. But I still cosplay as him till this day because he's still my favorite. And he's the only character, well, not even character. He's the only person that I love to cosplay because his energy of creativity, I feel like it's the same as mine in a way, where, I'm not afraid to go above and beyond when it comes to making anything, because he did the same thing. I think he went above and beyond when he was in pro wrestling. And that's one of the reasons why I loved him as a pro wrestler and as somebody who was an entertainer, because that was the thing about him. He still got in the ring, but when he was out of the ring, it was all acting business. Like, he really just nailed it. And that was the reason why I cosplayed him. I did multiple skits. I've done multiple skits with these guys, with these suckers throughout my years with the Firefly Funhouse costume. And it's pretty much been a blast doing it. And again, it was just little stuff. I was like I think my all-time favorite is I'll be the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. And we did multiple skits where I was doing the puppeteering and the voice acting. And I would, be like making super simple voices and just, well, you're a pretty annoying fella yourself. And just doing stuff like that. Like with every cosplayer that was on the scene. So it pretty much was all improv, no script, no nothing. And, it was just something fun that I love to do. And the community loved it. They loved it. It's something about puppets that gets, it's puppets. Puppeteering is so nice. And
I see that lantern.
Yeah, the lantern. Oh, I was gonna say, the lantern is actually new. This is actually gonna be seen this year. It actually does light up. I created this maybe not too long ago. I made it with two little puck lights. Spray painted the base around it. And there's a remote. I don't know where the remote is, but it actually does light up. So it has two puck lights again. Remote, you click it and it turns on. So I don't know where the remote is at this moment, but if I could show that. But yeah, it does light up.
Yeah, so yes, the death of Bray Wyatt hit you pretty hard.
It honestly did, because he was young. He was only 36. And, again, like, I'm 31, and even that scares me sometimes, because I don't know, man. It hit me out of nowhere, because I didn't think. I remembered I was in a Discord call with my friends who my light just fell over. Hey, the King's curse striking again. My light just fell over. Hold on a second.
You bumped it.
Fell completely over.
While you're getting that set up, reset up.
Yeah, my light just fell over. Hold on a second. It just completely fell over.
Well, let me set this up for the viewing audience while you're getting that going or repositioned.
Yeah, wait, were we going to show them?
What am I going to show them? Oh, maybe I should show them something while you're working on this.
I think it's going to take a quick second to fix the light, but yeah. Also,
Well, let me show you. Okay. So let me show this video while you're working on this. I'm going to kind of circle back to Bloody Wars for a second. This is one of the videos where you pulled off an upset, and this is the one where you defeated me somehow.
Who's going to be moving on?
1-1? No, it could be anyone's game.
It can be. Uh-oh. Brandon changing with Lex Luger. We haven't seen Lex Luger into action yet.
No, we haven't. This is a nice change of pace.
Just something that Brandon could pull up his sleeve. He's trying to redeem himself from losing against Sam. I'll never forget that. I'm sorry. He's using the iron blows towards his advantage. The iron hands, I should say. Steven Lucas trying to survive with the kicks. Top rope from Steven. Oh,
Nope.
is he going to get it? He's trying. Oh, man. Steven.
Pulled it up for the kick
Pulled
to the
around
face.
number 1. Uh-oh, Brandon with a lift. Slamming him down. Steven's trying to survive to move on. He's been wanting this belt for a long time. And
I
let's
think there's quite a few of us here that have been wanting that belt for a long time, myself included.
Oh, yeah. We're not forgetting you, Damien. Oh, yeah. Your reactions on this new belt.
I like it. I like it. I want it around my waist.
Who's going to pull this off for sure? Only time will tell. Most of the time I use The Undertaker a lot. Yeah, The Undertaker is a popular player to use. Brandon coming back with the win. So this is do or die. We've been seeing some close competition lately.
Oh, with the
Yeah, I was on the
Hurricane
brink of
News.
winning somehow.
Somehow,
Is Brandon
some
gonna
way.
pull this off, though. Steven Lucas is in danger.
They both got to be careful here. It could be anyone's match.
It can be. Oh!
Oh!
Is he going to pull the second win? And he does! Oh!
Oh!
But Brandon! He redeemed himself. Thank you, Damon, for being here, dude.
Thank you for having me, and I'm going to pass this microphone back over to the pro. And
Well,
Craziest upset. I didn't even expect that.
yeah, and I didn't expect that either. And I was like, what the? There's no way I should have lost that. And I did. And a wrestling game of all things.
Right. But
And you lost to Sam, and you lost to Samantha prior to this. And then I got you in the losers bracket, and then boom, I lose. I could not believe it. And I lost
it
straight
was
out.
unpredictable. I mean, I'll get it. It was one, you know. One and fun.
Well, you're still,
Okay.
you're still
Oh
trying
God! I just fixed my light. Oh God, that's embarrassing. I just fixed my light. Okay, we're okay.
All right.
But
Well,
anyway.
it appears you're not settled in yet. So So that wasn't the only upset you had.
That was the only one.
That was not the only major upset you pulled off. This is the bigger one.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it.
so let's see
As I
who
got
is
my
he's
light
going to
fixed.
come up with.
Oh,
Oh
not
my
this.
God.
Is he?
Oh yes, this.
Oh, not this. Come
He's
on
using
now.
Alex.
Let's show this.
Good. Wow.
Of course I'm
That's
gonna
something I
show
could
this.
be
What do you
proud of.
think?
Brandon. Eliminating
Oh
the champion.
man, this is
Oh.
embarrassing.
You're facing the
If
title
I could do
holder
that
at
tonight, I'd be
this
thoroughly
point.
impressed.
I was.
And Izzy's got the character that Brandon calls the don't care kicks.
The don't care kids.
I mean, they are don't care kicks
Just
that
gave up and
Alex
said,
did. Do.
okay, I'm just kicking you.
Right.
I think that's how most players get by kicking them through the feet.
Jose, I think Jose was
footsies
doing
are
this one,
definitely
wasn't it?
important in this game.
He was, yes, he was commentating.
Oh.
It's sort of like the same with Mortal Kombat with the uppercut.
Spinning roundhouse kick from Brandon. Oh!
Oh.
Knockout from Brandon.
I'm somehow surviving with
Match
Alex. I
point
don't
for
even know how I did
Brandon.
it.
Wow.
I really
No,
don't know
you
how.
were-
Win on this one.
You had Ryu.
Or no, I had
you
Ryu.
were
Oh, I know I had
Right
Ryu.
off of a bat?
Yes.
Wow, that's the first.
I still don't know
kinda-
how I survived this.
Uh-oh.
I think the problem was Izzy picked the wrong fighter.
Half of a bar left from
Think
both
so?
participants.
Yes. You could shoot
Oh,
fireballs.
is he trying to come back?
Alex was not shooting fireballs.
Is he trying
It
to
just
come back?
didn't seem like the type of fighter.
Oh, and a spinning
See,
back.
now you're down to no
Yeah, I was
health.
down to no
That's so
health.
close.
There's the ult.
He needs one more hit.
Whip punish.
Oh!
I don't know. I don't know.
Brandon with
I don't
the
know,
win.
man.
Brandon! What?
He knocked out the champ. That's
What?
wow.
Oh, Damien was there too.
That
Yeah,
What?
wow.
yeah. Everybody
This
was
has got to
stunned.
be the
Everybody
biggest
was.
upset, and we're only starting in 2024, and this is the biggest upset ever.
Oh, wow.
Everybody was shocked.
Brandon, I am so happy for you. Brandon, I am so happy for you. I've actually won virtual money.
We don't even know how much Jose won after that, but who knows? It was probably quite a hefty penny. Anyway, so yeah, okay. I guess you did mention with the episode with Norbert how that all happened. You did. You were going to ask me about that. Both those.
Yes.
So honestly, I don't really know. I don't know because literally what happened was I went up to the cabinet and I said to myself, I said, hey, I'll give it my best because that's what I do. I just try because that's what I'm supposed to do. And I'll be real, I didn't think I was gonna beat the current champion. I thought he was gonna wipe the floor. He was gonna wipe the floor. And I don't know. It was out of nowhere. I don't even know. I don't know. I look back
Like
on
I
it now,
said,
it was unpredictable.
I think he was using a different fighter for the last two battles, and he switched to Alex. Why he switched to Alex, I don't know. I don't know if there was something about him that thought he had a better shot at winning the matchup with Alex, but I think that was the wrong fighter to choose. Obviously, I stuck with the Akuma throughout the whole thing.
Norbert played some pretty good Akuma. I saw him doing that. I think Damien also played Akuma, if I remember.
So, Jose just called me. He wants to tell us about the Tetris joke by voice messenger online. So I'm going to see if I can hear it. Get him on. Hold on a second.
Oh, no way.
Put this on.
No way.
Jose, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, God.
Can you hear Brandon? Can you hear him?
I hear him.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Well, the internet's off sync, so you tell me what Brandon is saying.
Well, actually, you were going to say you were going to tell a joke. So go ahead.
Well, yeah. Hey, is there a Tetris tournament in the future?
Are you actually asking me this question?
All right. Well,
Is there a Tetris tournament in the future? Now, we had Tetris for Arcade Wars, and I had to nag you repeatedly to put a score in, so we had a chance of winning that month. You finally did. I had to help you a little bit with that skip ahead bonus.
yeah, that was done as a joke, man. To perfectly explain it, I just did it because I just want to be funny for the tournament. I just want to bring some levity, you know. So I just thought doing the whole Tetris joke was funny. So I ran with it. I stick with the joke for as many as I can. And even brought several cake based on it.
There's a possibility we could have a Super Puzzle Fighter tournament, which is the closest thing to Tetris, and also mixes a fighting game in it.
It would be nice to actually get that.
That could work as well. You know, any puzzle game it could be welcome, like Puzzle Bob or anything. Or better yet, how about Puli-Lura, which is that weird title beat 'em up.
Puli-Lura is a beat 'em up. It would not be a Blade Wars game. The reason why, and by the way, there's been a question, why is that off the floor? They have to change the game settings to 3 lives and 3 bombs. It was set for 5 and 5, which is not the default settings. So that's why there's no scores on the game right now, and I believe it is sending in Canton, but I don't know that for a fact. I didn't see it in that front room, but
it is in Canton.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah, there was some at first difficulty with the settings, so yeah, they had to like really change it so it could really be more accessible for players to start if they want to put a world record in.
Right. You know what?
In Canton for some time.
I'm going to make this a little bit easier on Jose. Gosh, where's that daggone link?
Uh-oh. You trying to find it?
I'm trying to invite him in so he wouldn't, so I don't have to like use, oh, here we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. Stand by 1 second. I'm going to send him a message on Facebook.
Are you going to try to get him on this show?
Why not? It'd be easier than how we're doing it now.
Future triple threat podcast apparently now over here.
Okay, Jose, if you have a webcam handy, go ahead and click the link that I just sent you. We'll see if you pop up here.
Oh God,
What is
that is the service we're using. If you got a webcam, or if you're on a computer, you should be able to see if you can.
I'm not mobile.
He's on the phone.
Try it. I don't know. Get on. See if it'll. Try it anyway.
I don't know if it'll work.
I'm still learning this thing. I might as well find out if using your mobile will let you in or not.
Most interesting episode ever.
Okay.
We'll give Jose a moment and see if he can.
We'll see if
not, then we'll have him as a guest in the future sometime.
Right. Yeah. You still got a resume to get through. We ain't even
resume. Well, I did have on my list who would be the next guest after this gentleman pops in next week, which will be this guy,
Damien.
Damien will be the guest on the Crimeycade podcast next week. I'll have to go back and look at the Bloody Wars tournament interviews and kind of put together my set of questions for him. But let's see. He made it in.
Oh wow!
He got in.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna hang this cell phone up here. There we go.
Wow. Okay, this became just apparently the first ever triple threat Crimeycade podcast.
Well, it can take up to 6. So,
that's
Jose, welcome in. Can you hear us?
Hello, guys.
What's going on, Jose?
So I figured
can
this
you guys
would be.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, loud and clear. I see you walking around somewhere in a building. I don't know where you're at. But anyway.
Hold on. Let me
That's your work.
Let me get comfortable here.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're sitting down. Okay. So
So,
what is your obsession with Tetris? You said it was a joke, right? And Jose froze.
Well, it's gonna happen. Wait. Give it a second. You know how it is. It'll probably just come back. There he goes. Okay, now ask him again.
What is your obsession with Tetris?
Well, because to be honest, my obsession with Tetris has started a long time ago. It started with middle school, and when I was trouble focusing on like simple things like math or geometry, the teacher would give me a special ed teacher would give me a Tetris, which is a Tetris Tower thing, Tetris Tower 3D, for me to focus on.
Jenga. It'd be a Jenga tower, right?
Jenga. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think
it's sort of like that, but it's Tetris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after that, I played Tetris on PS3. I played Tetris on mobile, and then the rest of it is just pretty much history of my obsession with Tetris. So yeah, the whole thing the whole thing about this whole Tetris joke is basically it's just as I just came up recently. I just made it as a joke, really, just to add in some levity to the whole Bloody Wars tournament, to add some humor.
And that's what the tournament needs. And I'm pretty sure that's why Josh put me on there. And humor. Because a tournament can't be boring. Just saying.
No, it can't be.
Just saying.
Although,
just saying it can't be boring. It needs to have some form of entertainment.
It's like JP was like losing his mind every time Tetris came up.
I'm okay.
Yeah, every time I bring up, every time I bring up the Tetris joke, he always gets pissed.
Well, I personally don't mind it.
On the brink of kicking me out.
Tournament, in my opinion, that's him. That's just what he thinks. But I personally don't mind it. It's okay with me. I have to be like, okay, we got to get back to doing our actual commentary. But a joke every so often makes the tournament interesting. That's what I think. But it's not my tournament though. So
you know what? When I have this best of 7 rematch against JP Pitts, the so-called rubber match. Besides, I'm gonna have to find something that's Tetris to wear. Besides that, wearing Chief or Kansas City Chiefs apparel.
Keep going.
Because he's mad that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, so I have to wear Kansas City Chiefs and Tetris apparel, which I think would drive him over the. I think it would drive him over the edge.
Honestly, you weren't the only one that did that. What was it? Andrew did the same thing. He wore red too. So it wasn't Chiefs, but he wore red.
It's not just wearing the colors; you gotta have the logos on it too.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but it was still countable. It was still countable. It still worked. So did Josh stay long? No, he left. So there you go.
I could have pushed it further and just wear a Green Bay Packers cap on.
You should have done it, Jose. Missed opportunities. I'm just saying.
Well, they ran out.
Jose. We'll just wait until the Packers win a Super Bowl next, which could actually happen. Anyway, so,
definitely.
Speaking of very cool people, there's another cool person who I want to talk about. He's in the chat. He just wrote in. And he's
Would it be this guy?
Fan. Yeah, Pearl. Shout outs to Pearl. And believe it or not, I had the thing for Valkyrie no Densetsu, and Pearl came in and destroyed it. And I helped him record his run. I remember that day. I let him borrow my camera, set it up, and he recorded the whole 1cc start to finish. I know I told him about the Valkyrie no Densetsu redesign. And he told me, he's looking forward to playing it again. And I told him, yeah, dude, same. But I know Pearl works on crazy shmups. One of the best things I remember that Pearl did too was he came in on I don't know when, but he came in, him and his friends. He played 10, I don't know if it was 10 or 11 games, but every single one of those scores got read out on Monday Mystery. Probably the biggest biggest Monday Mystery reading of all time, probably, in my opinion. 10 or 11 scores red is insane. That's incredible. So
we had a whole week to do it.
He only had a week. He only had a week. So in my opinion, Pearl is a gamer. Pearl's a gamer. That's all I'm gonna say about him, man. He is a gamer, and he is also a great friend. He also works on another series that I love, which is Toho, which I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Yes.
He works on a lot of Toho projects, so he definitely works really hard on those. He just said, LOL, I remember the Valkyrie thing. No sleep for like 30 plus hours. Oh my God, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey, at least I was able to help you get that run, man. You got that 1 CC in for you, dude. So I'm sorry if you lost all the sleep in the world, man. But hey, you got that number, and that's all that matters. But yeah, he works really hard on shmups. Just like the other shmup gang, he works just as hard as they do. So, he delivers.
Yeah.
Pearl delivers. And I can't wait till he comes back.
Pearl. Yeah. And Pearl, I currently hold the world record on Ray Crisis, but Pearl is the better player than me. And I kind of, he had like 6 million on that.
He came in and he came to town on that, and I know he's going to be coming back for that really soon. We don't know when, but I know he'll rework that game as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too.
Yeah. I'm open. I'm not bothered if he tries to do Ray Crisis again, because you know what, I kind of feel bad that I have to world record now. But you know what, I'll be more than honored if he reworks it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Steven had it previously, if I'm not mistaken.
And it was a little bit of a battle between me and you over that score, and I've taken a beating again. I'm down to 13th place again.
Man, I tell you. Ray, Pearl. So Pearl just wrote in the chat. He said, "Ray Crisis learning the scoring condition."
Yeah, that's trying to get a chain going where you're trying to get that those higher points, and I don't know. I can't seem to pull it off every time. Some of the time, I can get a
time
good...
it probably very well to get it.
Yeah.
I haven't played Ray Crisis in a while either, so
Yeah, I would tell you the secret, but being respectful, I'm not going to tell you.
There you go.
You just have to figure it out on your own, Steven.
I watch playthroughs online and do some reading, but execution is another matter.
We'll see we'll all find out eventually what happens when Pearl comes back here, because I know he's coming. I know for sure he's going to be back one day this year. I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming back with his friends. So, Pearl, I'm pretty sure you're hearing me, man. But I can't wait. Hopefully you'll be back, man. I can't wait to see you again. I give you much love for the. Where is it on my jacket? It might be on here. Here it is. You guys can't probably see it, but the Valkyrie no Densetsu button that he gave me on his. I think this is his second visit. He gave me this. Here, I'm gonna take it off the jacket so you guys can get a better look. But he gave me. Here we go. Where is it? There it is.
I see it.
The Valkyrie no Densetsu button. And I think it's my favorite button on the jacket because I love that game. Even if I don't have the number for the game on the card, it's still one of my favorite games. And that's the thing. Again, I've explained it again. I'll say it all the time. I love the games that are in the building because they're just nice, and I love the artwork. And when you see stuff, when you get stuff like this, it's just what makes it worth it, and I'll keep it in my memory forever. So yeah.
It's too bad you missed the Pinball Expo tournament because Valkyrie was in that
oh my goodness.
Super 7.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be. I did not think that game would be in there.
I was there, but I didn't participate.
I didn't think it was going to be in there. What were you going to say, Jose?
I was at the Pinball Expo, but I didn't participate in the tournament. I was busy with the other stuff like the pinballs and Stern.
I didn't think they were gonna. I didn't think that was interesting. When I saw you give me the pictures, Steven, of the lineup, I didn't think.
Yeah, just 10.
It was. I didn't think Valkyrie was gonna be in there because the game. I don't think it's not that much of a high scoring game, but I mean it's still score. No. So, I guess it was one of those things where, I guess it was held accountable, so it worked, and it worked. So it was good. I was glad that Doc put that in the tournament. So it was really cool. I'm sad that I missed it, but I mean I had to work that weekend and I couldn't make it, so couldn't get.
I
the
was
time
not
off.
going to be denied winning that belt.
Well,
after coming so close the previous year and not knowing a certain tech and losing to James White, which I hope he is going to be at C2E2 and participate in the tournament. Assuming it happens, though.
We still don't know that
still
right now.
waiting.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't even know if there. We don't even know if there was no word about it yet. I know.
Yeah.
I think Doc mentioned that. I think I don't know if they were asked. He mentioned something about it. I heard about it. In the stream VOD, but I don't think there's a confirmation that they're going to be there or not. In my personal opinion, I think Galloping Ghost is really nice for C2E2. Why? Because it just fits. I don't know if I would personally see. I mean, Doc's a Godzilla fan. I get that, and that's really cool. But I don't personally think, and I had this conversation with Mini Beach in the car on the way home about Galloping Ghost being at an anime con, and I just don't think it would happen because here's lesson number one: anime nerds are trashy. No offense, we're not that good sometimes, and we sometimes don't respect property, which is some people are just they're stupid. But I personally think it's better at C2E2 because I just think the community at C2E2 is way more different than an anime con community.
Yeah.
I mean, there are still good anime convention communities.
Anime,
it hit or miss.
Anime fans are much as passionate as football fans. You talk bad about them, they'll damage you like a hornet's nest.
That's my forte in it.
Yeah. If you talk shit about it, they guard you up like a hornet's nest.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, but yeah, we'll. I mean, the other thing I really would want to see is that Doc has a few games that I know that convention community would love. There's a few in the building that I know they would love to see because they have a couple. They have the Japanese. I don't know if it still works, but those Japanese Half-Life and those Left 4 Dead machines would be great at anime cons because that's something. Those are I would say I don't know if they're authentic Japanese cabinets, if I have that correctly. If y'all two know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They look like the Japanese cabinets and one the Felix the title one.
Pearl just wrote it in the chat. I think he just said Verwillixes. I can't say that. I don't know. I think you might have said it right, Jose.
Yeah, the Buick's one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's the same type of arcade controls they have on my joystick that I had, especially in round one. Those Buick's type machines that have like multiple fighting games.
Right.
And as well as just recently they just add like shmup games into it as well. Like
kind of like a Candy Cab, right?
Candy Cabs.
Yes.
Shout outs to quick shout outs to DJ Psycho because I know he's got I think he's got a Candy Cab if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, hopefully one day in the future maybe Doc will do an anime con. I don't know if it'll happen or not. It's just something I would personally like to see. I don't think it will happen, but it's just one of those. It's one of those wish list things that I would love to happen, but I don't know if it's him.
The difference between
it reminds me of. I remember when Norbo told me that they used to have like a consoleized cabinet of Blaze Blue.
Oh, which game?
Yeah,
Blaze Blue.
Oh, Blaze Blue. Yeah, Blaze Blue is great.
Yeah, they when they had like their console areas, I believe they have a consoleized version of Blaze Blue. They used to.
Well,
came out for the PS3.
For the PS3. Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to keep things going because I think there's still more to cover for me. This is still.
Yes. Eric Pearl, and it didn't come up in this chat. It came up on the stream. It's he said someone else will hopefully clear a game soon. I assume he's talking about Ray Crisis.
No, I think he's wait, hold on. It might be I think it is Ray Crisis because I think him and I are working on Valkyrie. I know I want to get back to working on it because I haven't played in so long, but
it's off the floor right now, but I didn't get any farther than I did the last time in the tournament play, so
I just got a quick YouTube notification of Galloping Ghost just posting about the destroyer from jail.
Oh, that's been out for a little bit.
Yeah, they put the YouTube highlights up just now, so I'm gonna watch that a little later. That game was funny. He meant Pearl also meant to say Valkyrie, yeah. But he also said someone should 1cc Ray Crisis soon as well. I wonder who that would be.
I thought Eric Pearl already 1cc'd Valkyrie.
I think there was I believe if I'm not mistaken, it was 1cc'd, but I think what happened was the footage got corrupted and it didn't count, which was very unfortunate. But I think that's what happened why it didn't count as a 1cc.
He did it twice, but wants somebody else to clear it.
You want someone else to clear it?
Okay.
All right, Jose.
Yeah.
Hey, Jose, did you catch that comment? He's talking about you, clearly. You're going to 1cc it next, right?
I wish I could 1cc
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. I haven't played it for a while, so that's going to require a lot of work from me. Yeah.
Well, it's not on the floor, so the last time anybody's been able to play it was back at the Pinball Expo. So,
it's sitting pretty there now, so it ain't going anywhere. It's still been working fine. But hopefully, as Pearl said, we'll see somebody do it. Anyway, so what was the next? What was the other? We had still some more questions to get through.
We have more questions. But Jose, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Maybe we'll have you back on the podcast sometime in the future, maybe as the official guest.
Yeah,
I wanted to bring you in.
I think that's all I have to say about the Tetris joke and all. So.
Before Jose goes, I do want to say, Jose, again, you know how I am. You're fine with making jokes on the Bloody Wars commentary. Again, like I said, but when you see me going, hey, okay, we got gist, then I gotta take the mic back. Then you get it.
Yeah.
Right? Because then Josh apparently gets on me for that, and I'm like. Like I gotta get the mic back, but yeah, no, dude, you're fine. I mean, I personally appreciate the jokes. I think again, it makes the tournament entertaining. It keeps the commentary fresh, and it just keeps things interesting. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you thank you. But yeah, all right. With that said, I think we're just gonna go back to it being a 2-part show. We're gonna
two-man show. Yeah.
Farewell. Hopefully, we'll see him on the Crimeycade in the future.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe a separate interview.
There you go. One day I'll get it. All right, Jose. Godspeed.
Right.
We'll
Thank
see
you for joining us.
See you Monday.
See ya.
All right.
All right. That was good. That was cool. It's like having like how like they have like that phone sitting by the you have to pick it up and answer. Like, hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, this thing went off and I didn't expect that. It's like calling me through Facebook Messenger and I just kind of figured out maybe it may have been easier if I got him in the stream instead of like holding this phone up to the headset and at reduced video or audio quality.
I did the same thing.
I'm glad that thing worked.
It did work. It did work out well. I also remember doing the same thing with Josh when I was a part of speaking of Josh is in the chat. I remembered I did the same thing for Josh's press conference. I think I called on Messenger. I didn't do this. I called on Messenger and I just told everybody at home, hey, I had an idea. This was how it was supposed to go, but it didn't. And, whatever. That's another conversation we'll get into in a little bit. But anyway, back to the original, because there's still more to get through.
Yeah, we were talking about cons that you attend. You did the cosplay, but the cons you've gone to, C2E2 being one of them, you've gone to some others. What is this? Boo? We mean boo.
Ignore that. Just ignore that. He's just going to do that. He'll always do that. He always does that.
I mean, you posted videos of you running around conventions, either in the silver glittery suit or maybe in costume, maybe as King Dice was one.
Oh, the King Dice outfit was my favorite. We filmed a music video for that in Chicago.
I saw that.
It was the great. We filmed me and see. It's a darn shame that Mini Beach isn't here for this episode because he was the cameraman.
About him.
He recorded everything, so it was all him and his camera work, and I was the one in the King Dice outfit, just doing antics. Even the go-kart, which you see in the intro, that was me driving the go-kart. Like you had a box over my head, and I'm driving in the go-kart track, and I'm like holding on to the head like this while I'm on one wheel like that, foot on the gas, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god, I'm probably going to crash and burn this go-kart. And I didn't. I drove a whole lap, surprisingly. The unedited clip is somewhere on my desktop of me actually driving the whole lap. But then that go-kart place actually went out of business after like 2 years after we filmed over there, and it was really sad. So, but yeah, that was me driving the go-kart. Everything in Chicago to the kid holding up the contract. We asked the kid's parents if we could film that for him, and they said yes. And it was really, really cool. So everything we asked for permission before we filmed it, because that's how I want to do my videos is we ask first, and then we get the green light to pretty much film anything we want to film. So that way we don't have like questions like afterwards about like people being like, oh, is this a permit? So, we always ask first before we go on any property.
Now you've had this camera that follows you around everywhere.
Chris, Mini Beach.
I wish I had my own.
Well, so
I'm usually the cameraman.
So
I'm usually the cameraman.
So funny story. Me and Chris actually knew each other before Galloping Ghost as well. We knew each other in community college. We kind of knew each other, but we didn't know each other really. We didn't talk much back then, but then after maybe about a couple of years, he left, and then I was still there in college. And then after I left college, we reunited again after I was a part of a current old fandom that I was being an entertainer at. And behind me, covered up with the Toy Pop marquee and the Alistair plushie, is that piece of history before I was a part of GGA that I'll show off in a little bit. But pretty much what's underneath there was pretty much a part of my life for fun at cons before I started doing videos. So
you've also made some TV appearances. Actually a newscast recently profiling the Galloping Ghost. What some of the other have you made? How many other TV appearances have you made, and in what?
I've actually been interviewed. I was interviewed for TV 2 other times. They're not around now, but I remember doing them because they're a part of my life. I remembered being interviewed when I was at the Taste of Chicago many years back, and there was that one. I did absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know who I want to do my best of 7 against. I do want one against Jose, but I'm picking somebody very special. Y'all won't know that answer until later this year. I'm sorry. And we're going to keep it that way.
What about me?
Well, y'all don't know what the answer is. So that's why I said I got to keep it low profile until the time
Doesn't matter if you low profile or not. I think I got to avenge that loss somehow.
Well, we'll see who the answer is. I can't say it yet. We got to wait till convention season.
Even if it's somebody else, that doesn't mean I still can't still can't challenge you myself.
Yeah, I mean, you still will, but But anyway, getting back to the case in point, yes, Allison. Yeah, I never told you that. But I was a part of the Taste of Chicago interviewing when I was like maybe a little. I think it was like when I was a teenager. They interviewed me about like this breakfast pizza. I think it was like a breakfast pizza, and like I just didn't know what to say. And then I was interviewed on TV a second time when I was a part of another fandom about like why this fandom is the way it is and stuff like that. So I had that TV appearance, and then I think up to now, excuse me, That was up to now with the Chicago Tonight, which I didn't. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. I personally thought I wasn't going to be on it because I'll be real, when you wear this, being there, it's hard for people to actually talk to me. Believe it or not, it is actually people. It's hard for people to actually talk to me because like they're afraid. I think they just don't know how I'm going to be when I have it on. Versus like having normal clothes on. So there's a little bit of shyness when I'm out in public doing video skits with it on and people are afraid to like talk to me. And I understand that. It's like, it's nerve wracking. It's, something that they're not used to. So it is hard for like the public when me and Chris Mini Beach do our filming and, we do get people coming up to us. But they don't know how to like say anything or pronounce words, and they don't know what they don't know what to say to me to start a conversation. Is what the hard thing is.
I can relate to that somewhat.
It's hard when you have all these accolades and all these achievements. People sometimes just don't know how to approach a person like that. And it's honestly part of life. It's part of life, and not everybody can approach a certain individual that way.
Well,
just,
I'll give you a story as a little kid. There was, when I lived in Benton, Illinois. That's way south.
Yes.
There was on local TV somewhere. There was a gentleman known as Uncle Briggs, and it's basically he was doing a kid show. Well, I was not even in kindergarten yet, and of course I wanted to meet him, but then it's like super shy. I don't know. I was like, you're seeing somebody in real life that you're watching on TV, and I just did not know how to handle it as a little kid. And so meeting celebrities as a little kid was impossible for me. So, of course, nowadays, as a much older person, I have no problem meeting a celebrity.
You work your way up to the top. That's how it is. Like, I don't even consider myself. There are people, I wear this jacket and they assume that I'm an A-list thing. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just somebody wearing a damn coat. I'm just like having a good time. That's all I want to do. It's the same thing.
Well, it's eye-catching. What do you expect?
Well, it is. Well, I mean, I get it. It is eye-catching, but I don't know. I guess like people see it that way, but when they actually talk to me, I'm like still talking to them normal. Like, hey, I'm just filming videos, and this is my personality persona, and yeah, that's it. It's the same thing with everything I do. Like, I'm just doing it to have fun. So,
cats are trying to break into this room. Now they're standing outside and crying their eyes out.
Oh no. Let me in.
Yeah, I'm not going to let them in because they'll just interfere. One will just hop in my lap and crash the video. I know I was watching GGA, Gene, who was streaming, and his cat crashed the video while he was playing. And it looks just like mine. It's a ginger. What do you... The ginger cats are so devious.
Those cats are taking over,
And
those cats are taking over, darling,
Devious, devious and conniving and who knows what else. I
love it, man. All right, anyway, let's keep going.
Okay, you're also a game show panelist host.
Oh, yes, that.
So tell me about it.
So game show, honestly, it just goes back to, again, what's behind this bad boy right here. And it's a game show panel. I even put up on my Instagram, I think just today, I was talking about this year and how I want to get back into the game of doing game show hosts and all that stuff. Oh, yes, I have the
Toy Pop. Yes, that was the other game that you played a lot of. I don't know if you had to house high at any point, but
I did have the record. Andrew got me that one.
Him and Patzer have been battling out for the high score on that one.
Oh my gosh,
Jim Patzer.
We'll get to Jim. I'm sure I'll talk about Jim later on. because he plays game. Toy
Right.
Pop Gaming, Toy Pop Gaming. Pearl says, Toy Pop Gaming. So behind this bad boy right here is actually one of the greatest things ever, and I cherish it dearly. This is my Wheel of Fortune wheel prop. This thing has been around with me for a while now. This thing is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite things ever to have because, quite frankly, I've always done mostly Wheel of Fortune panels in my early years before Galloping Ghost Arcade. It does spin. It also does light up. This was made by my friend. I think his name was Jacob Smith. I believe he was a part of an old fandom that I used to be a part of, and we did panels together. He was my programmer, and he was also the designer of this bad boy right here. It operated just like the actual Wheel of Fortune game show. You actually have the actuators right here. You can't probably see them from my hand, but these are like the little actuators for like playing toss-up puzzles. I have little pieces for it, like extra money spaces. Then there was like special prizes I gave away and stuff like that for it. But yeah, this thing has been with me for about maybe about a good solid couple of years, maybe like even 6-7 years. But it's a great piece of conversation starter. It's probably a better conversation starter.
Oh, give it a spin.
Huh?
Spin that thing.
Oh,
Let's see what you get.
You might have to put the camera on the full screen again to get this one. Hold on. I don't know if they're going to be able to see it.
Is it flat? No, it's not. It's at an angle.
It's kind of at an angle.
Yeah, we may not be able to spin it unless you like level it out somehow.
Well, it's also on top of the cover, but it does spin though, and it is very loud. But it is a little bit of a it does do its thing. I'm reading the chat again. 5K piece or bust. I do have the 5,000 piece. It's just in a little tin somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely I love this thing. I love doing that as opposed to doing sometimes working on world records or high scores at Galloping Ghost and doing Bloody Wars. I actually love doing game show panels. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite things to do as somebody who works on other projects of my own. I just like doing stuff like this because it's just as entertaining as being a part of Galloping Ghost Arcade. Galloping Ghost Arcade is another community that I'm a part of. That is a great community. But then when I'm not with them again, this is like what I do outside of that. And it's again just something. It's just something else I love to do. Like I could go on, but hosting Wheel of Fortune panels at conventions is great. I know one convention I wanted to do it at was C2E2, but since I'm already going to a convention in I'm going to ColossalCon in Ohio later this year, and I got a convention in my own hometown. I'll be coming back for after that. My plan is to do those game show panels for those conventions this year. As soon as this podcast is over, surprise, I'm going to be trying to fill out applications to be on those panels or to be at those conventions so they can have me on their con schedule so I can get back in the game of doing that. So that's why as soon as this is over, I'm going to fill out those applications and hope to God that I'll get accepted. Fingers crossed.
Now that wheel went missing for a while.
Yeah, it did. We made a series. I written a little series about it, which I've got a backstory to that. So the story behind that is that I think I came up with my two close friends. Well, one of my former close friends, who isn't my friend anymore. I came up with the story that this got stolen and it affected my life. It was a fun little story that I came up with just to add some entertainment to the YouTube channel. And the plot was, we don't know who stole it. We don't know who did it, but eventually I guess it would lead to me like having a mental breakdown and leading me to excessive drinking, which I wasn't really actually excessively drinking. It was just
Thank
something
goodness.
fake. No, it was just something fake. It was just something fake to build up the story, to just change the story around and all that. We took the story to a local convention here in Illinois, and the alleged ending was that it ended, I think, with me like having a pretend hangover, and I was like having amnesia or something like that. And then this one random guy's holding it up, and he's like, "Hey, does this belong to you?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, it doesn't belong. I don't care." Like I was basically just acting, and it ended with that. We were gonna continue it. We were supposed to continue it with a certain a friend of mine who portrayed a character in the series who was female. We were going to continue it with her, but then her schedule got busy. So then I tried to rewrite it around, but that didn't work. And then pretty much what happened was we just dropped it, which was very sad. And it was unfortunate. We had to drop it because it didn't get finished, which was really because everybody's schedules got conflicted. So that's what led me to unfortunately dropping the ending of that project, which was really sad.
So it kind of seemed like to me that the wheel wasn't found. So the wheel was actually found, but you were talking to this, I don't know, cartoon character somehow at the end of the series.
I had a friend of mine down south who has the greatest Tracer impression. So we took her, I got her to pretty much play Tracer. And that was something that I just put it in, and I was like, boom, let's go for it. And then it worked. It worked because she was great. She was great to work with. She is right now working, I believe she's in art school at this moment. I am still friends with her and her sister. They are both in art school right now, or no, she's in art school. The other one just got back into her voice acting life and other stuff. But yeah, she was great. She's a great friend of mine, and I really appreciate her time when she helped me film that. I want to film more stuff with her in the future. But it again requires me to pull her aside and talk to her through a DM and be like, "Hey, when's your availability so we can work together again?" Because I loved working with you and stuff like that. She was actually on a podcast of my own on my YouTube. I interviewed her, and it's up there. So if you're want to know more about her, that podcast is up there as well.
Now you do another game show, and this is kind of a throwback to the 80s. Another one, and you found a way to incorporate the video arcade in there. It's kind of a homage to Starcade.
Yes, I found a way to incorporate the video arcade. Say it again.
Crimeycade is the show you host, and it's a homage to Starcade, which was hosted by Jeff Edwards back in the early part of the 80s, which I really loved. I wish it, I mean, the series is all up on YouTube, but you're trying to do something similar to that, and you've had me on it.
So I've had you on it as a cameo. So yours is a cameo. Jimbo also has a cameo for the next official episode. I did put up a mock-up episode just recently where what happened was I was at Interium, and the original plan for that day was I remembered I was visiting Fat Chris. Fat Chris was in town, and I just wanted to come say hey to him, and I did, but he was not feeling too good. He was tired, but I wanted to let him know, hey, I hope you're doing all right. Hope your kids and your family are doing all right and all that. And we'll see each other in August, all that. So then me and Chris Mini Beach went to Interium that same day. My original plan was to record world's largest Pac-Man scoring runs. But while I was recording, I didn't have a good scoring run. I think I only scored like 71,000 something on my fourth attempt. So I took a break and I went over to the they have a 30th anniversary Pac-Man cabinet with Galaga, Pac-Man, and Miss Pac-Man in it. When I was setting up, I got confronted by kids, and of course, one thing led to another. They wanted to be on YouTube, and it's the obvious kids seeing a camera they see me with my camera, they see me with this thing, and they're always like, gonna be on YouTube, and I'm just like, I'm not doing anything like a vlog wise, but the thing is, I'm really nice like that. But most YouTubers and people doing this stuff, they're like, oh, the kids don't bother me, go away. But for me personally, yeah, I know. For me personally, I'm easygoing when it comes to stuff like that. So what I did was I allowed it. I was like, okay, if you guys want to do a video, we'll do a video. And I pretty much came with an impromptu King's Carnivalcade episode on the fly. And if you don't believe me, go look at YouTube. It's up there. Pretty much what I did was we just did a quick head-to-head Pac-Man match. One of I think the kid in the blue, it was like his birthday. So he had his friend play against him, and I think his friend won. So that's how that all went down. And then pretty much like after that, he won, and we were trying to give him the prize. And Chris was going to give him money, and I was like, don't give him money. Don't give him cash, please. Don't. Let's do something easy. So Chris, let me borrow his Interium card, and we got him candy from the prize room. So we got, even though they bought like 12 things of candy with all of the birthday kids, and I guess they all split them up evenly. So I was like, whatever. So yeah, that all happened. And then pretty much after that, I went back to recording Pac-Man runs. Didn't do any good ones that night, but it was still good to make those kids' days and just make them happy, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to do as a content creator. I want to make sure people are having a good time if they see me filming anything, and then find a way to have them be a part of the project, as long as there's, agreement and consent that they're okay with being in the project. Because that's what I want, flexibility. I don't want people to just be on a camera and then find out that it wasn't okay for them to be on a camera without any sort of like agreement. So we got from their parents. One of them was drinking a gosh darn glass of wine. So I'm pretty sure it was an easy yes for that person. They were already like, it's fine, my son's fine. And yeah, it was obviously one thing to another, and they were okay with it. So that's how that happened. But as far as
go ahead.
I was gonna say, you were asking about the actual show.
Well, I was gonna kind of mention that Carvalcade, your homage to Starcade, somebody else is doing the same thing, although they're going 100% homage and with the same format and rules. And this is a place in North Carolina, and they had an audition call a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
You had to call a number and then leave a promo as to why you should be on the show. I left my promo, obviously, because, I've cut so many. Yeah, I had this on the list. I am probably have to just address this now. Promos, yes. I cut a promo on the line, and hopefully they're going to start filming episodes in about a week or so. I'm probably not going to be one of the ones, probably not going to be a contestant on the show. Although if I was chosen, I'd have to find a way to drive down to North Carolina for a few days and figure out what to do with my very needy children, which are my two cats.
Your cats.
But if I got on if I got on the show, I would destroy whoever I was facing.
Right. I don't know.
It's called Wieners and Losers. I didn't even say who they were. It's Wieners and Losers.
I don't know, man. I mean, those guys, and they got it. I mean, the thing is with anything nowadays, you want to make anything. I mean, you can't stop the said individual from making something. I mean, you can't stop people from being creative. I just don't think that's not fair. And, you can't verbally say, well, if they're doing this, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to be like, well,
you're in Illinois. They're in North Carolina. So they probably don't know you.
No.
They didn't know me before I left my promo on their hotline when I got wind of their existence. So, ships passing in the night.
They don't know me, and I mean it is what it is. I'm still like the thing is I'm still gonna do it because the thing is with my version of the show,
don't let anybody stop you.
Huh?
Yeah, don't let anybody stop you doing what you want to do because you're not connected with them and they're not connected to you, and they're in a different time zone than you are.
Exactly. The other thing with it is that this version of the alleged Starcade that I'm working on is going to be way different because it's not just going to focus on arcade games. It's supposed to focus on console, PC. Like I want it to be more openly based besides arcade games, but the same concept as that show. Like, I just want that because not everybody can play arcade games, and that's what I want. I want flexibility. It goes right back to flexibility, but it's hard sometimes. It's hard to like think of a way to formulate that stuff in there. But that's what I want for King's Carnivalcade. King's Carnivalcade, yes, arcade games, but I also want current games in the mix. Like, just the stuff of today isn't too over the top, but I want stuff that's current base. And that's my goal with it.
Now, promos, of course. We've been cutting a lot of promos, or at least I have. A few others have cut some individual promos at Bloody Wars tournaments. You were wanting to drop a pipe bomb, so here's your opportunity to cut a promo right now. If you have one in you.
It goes right back to that post that I posted earlier today. That one that I think it said, don't text me, don't call me, don't do none of that. Here's my forte, otherwise known as my pipe bomb, so to speak, right here, right now, for anybody who will watch this or watch it later. Here's all I have to pretty much say to it. Don't boss me around. Don't tell me what to do. Because it's not your place to do that. I am my own individual, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because I have been doing everything in my power to be the best that I can be. And I don't need people pushing me around for telling me who I can and can't be sometimes. That's just all I'm going to say about it. And people keep thinking to myself that, like, I'm not paying attention to anything anybody's been saying to me or any of that stuff. And believe me, I have been. In the mortal words, in the great words of, his royal radio-esseness himself, it's time I remind everybody who I am. And this year, I'm going to do that. I want to get back into the game show life. I want to get some of the things in my life that made me actually entertaining and happy. Because, yes, this arcade has been there for me, and everybody has been there for me for a long time. But at the end of it all, I had another life before that. And I kind of want some of it back. So I will still be a part of everything that I will be. But do know, I care about the life I used to have sometimes. And trust me when I say, there is nothing that is going to change my mind in getting that life back. Because I want it back. I miss some people that knew that was supporting me, that they knew what I was doing. And I want those people back. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's it.
Yes. For, the other activity I did a lot of was in the local pro wrestling scene. I got driven out of it because of little kids and their, social contagions that they picked up from TikTok, and they think they can, that they're of a higher caste than everybody else, and thus they have to be treated like the royalty when they don't stand out in any other way except for what they got off of TikTok, and people kind of exploiting it for personal gains in other ways. As part of the wrestling business, driven out. It's been a year since I've been driven away, and that's not how I wanted to exit. The only reason I would even get involved in the wrestling business, and not necessarily the extent that I was, but I'd rather get back in. The only reason I need to get back in is so I can exit on my terms and my terms alone, not the terms of some toxic, narcissistic bully who thinks there's something, but they really did not accumulate the merits to put them on the level that they think they're on.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the other thing. Like, I just, some people look at me and they wonder how I got to where I'm at now. And I've had people in the past that have gotten mad at me. They're like, you know what? How come? I had an old friend of mine named Eric. He was basically my close best friend, and him and I worked together on a lot of stuff. But eventually he turned on me because he turned on me because I started the way he wanted me to work his way. It worked more for me and not him. So he decided to take it out on my friends and my family, which I never appreciated. And because he took it out on them, because he knew he could get them as easy targets. And when I found out about that, I was like, I wasn't going to let that fly. And I didn't. So all I'm going to say is let's do it too. That you can't. Oh, what's up?
That's called indirect bullying.
Indirect. Yeah, he was out to get me. And the thing is, now that my life has been way better without him, like he said to me, and I quote, "You'll never make it without me. You'll need me as your best friend." And I'm like, we'll see about that. And then we look where I'm at later. Like, look where I'm at now. I'm on a podcast with you. I was interviewed for TV for a great time. I got to host game shows. I entertained the world with videos, all with Mini Beach and myself and my creativity. And I'm happy because, again, and then people are asking me for other opportunities, like with Josh and Bloody Wars. Like Josh, he asked me and I said, yeah, man, I'll do it. And, I don't have a problem being a part of it, but the thing is, eventually I want to look for another opportunity. One of the things I do want to mention to Josh is that I appreciate, helping him out with this tournament, but one of these days, I personally don't know when, and I don't know how I'm going to tell him, and I know it's going to hurt him because, he's my friend, but
he's listening right now. Probably.
Yeah, I know he is. But I do want him to know that don't take this personally, but eventually, as much as I love being a part of Bloody Wars and helping out everybody, I have to, move on sometimes. And eventually I'm going to be doing that. I will do that eventually because there's going to be more opportunities coming up. And I want to look into more opportunities as an individual, as a content creator and as a commentator for his tournament. I want to look to the future. So again, I don't know when it's going to be, but I just need him to know that eventually I'm not going to be able to help him forever. I want to, evolve as an independent person in that community. And, I just can't be there forever. I just want him to personally know that. It's not to be mean or anything, but it's just to let him know I may not be there forever because I want to do other things.
Like Sammy.
That you look around at all these guys, at other commentaries for other fighting game tournaments. Like, I want to be there. I want to be there. I don't know how long it's going to take. And I don't know what else I have to do for it, but I want to be in that spot. I feel like as a dream career, one of my dream careers, I want to be in that spot. I do want to be in that spot. But I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know what I got to do, but I want that spot one day. And I want it. And I will not let anyone stop me from getting that spot. I will not, because I want everybody to know that I love them dearly as my friends and my family, but I want to make something out of myself one day. And I can't do it. I can't do it by doing the same things I've been doing for a while. I mean, yes, that's where I'm at, but eventually someone's going to come up to me. I tell it to Mini Beach half the time. I say, hey man, I might be talking to random strangers when I'm done filming, but you don't know what I could be making a deal with. You have no idea sometimes. I could be literally be getting an opportunity and it could slip away. So that's why I always talk to everybody, because I don't know what I could be offered. And that's that.
I was always referred to as a horrible commentator.
No.
I would, wrestling commentary, and I had to do my own weekly TV show so I could commentate because I enjoyed doing it. Other people thought I sucked at it. Well, that's their opinion. Not everybody felt that way, but there's only so many opportunities to go around, or so many slots to go around, and I had to find a different route to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if certain people, and there are certain people out there that wanted me to stop doing it, or actually telling me to stop producing the show. Yeah, and they turned out to be one of the bullies that drove me out a year ago. But eventually the wrestling thing was going to come to an end because I've not milked the gaming world for all that can be harvested. This is one of my first accomplishments.
Right.
Major accomplishments in gaming.
Please don't drop that thing. I swear to God. I get nervous every time you pick it up.
The floor is carpeted. So
okay. I still get nervous looking at that.
I sat it down. I had two hands on it, and I had a hand around the hilt. I was not going to drop it. If I was walking around with it on concrete, then I would be a bit a little more aware of the threat of droppage.
Right. But yeah, the thing is with it is I've made so many. The thing is with it too is like I've also made, again, like I love the convention. I love the anime con community. I mean, yeah, what I said earlier is true. We are a mess, but there are actually some people in the community that are very nice. They're very sincere, and I've met tons of people. I've met tons of different people. Shout outs to all of those people. You guys know who you are that I've interacted with in every video at conventions. But every single one of them I've met are incredible. They're all nice. And I don't think I've not had one bad. Well, I've had a couple of bad experiences, but I don't think I've not had like horrible borderline experiences at anime cons as of the last 3 years. Because I know what I'm doing with the community, and I think I know what I'm doing with the people that are in it, because it's just family-friendly content. I mean, a couple of swears, but mostly PG content. And that's what I want for my own product. PG content. A couple of swears, yes, but not a whole bunch of swearing. I want PG content. I mean, I do, because I just personally feel like one of the things in a career I want to do is just I want to be either a television host, or I want to do my own like cartoon kid show or something like that. Just something entertainment, because I just feel like it'll be something in my future that I would be really good at doing, and I would not fail at it, because I got the patience and the time to put up with that. So, but again, it all depends on how the rest of this world is with me right now and like everything I'm doing. But I mean, hey, the voice acting has been paying off. King's Carnivalcade has definitely been paying off. I don't want to continue that. What else is paying off? All the convention skits that I've been doing are also paying off. Everything is just, it lines up entirely. And I want to continue working on it. I want to be there for GGA as well, and all the stuff that everybody does over there. I know there is one thing I do want to get on, and I know it's in that question somewhere about, I don't know if it is coming up. Is it?
I did put something down about the February 12th speech that you made on Facebook.
February 12th. I think that was
that was the date it was posted. You posted a very long statement. It was not directed at anything in particular, although it kind of felt like when it was posted, there was been some tension between a couple of certain gamers, and
so
it might have been inspired by that.
So here's the thing, and I know I'm the one that gets involved in drama, but if I've dealt with it for over a decade, I'm not dealing with it anywhere else. That's just case in point. And it takes a lot to get me mad. But like, I don't tolerate drama that drags longer than it should. That's what I don't like sometimes. And or actually, how about this? I don't like anything that's way too childish than it should be. Because quite frankly, if it gets to a limit where it'll get to a limit with me when no one is being mutual about it. That's when it makes me mad. Because if no one is doing anything about it, it's just not being solved. And it's in my opinion, it's childish. And don't get me wrong, I say childish. It's childish. Coming from a guy who messes with damn puppets to entertain the convention public. Yes, I get it. I'm damn childish too. But you know what? At the end of the damn day, I still want to get down to the whole thing of it. Yes. Do I act like a damn fool in the convention community? Yes. But do I still act like an adult when I need to? If there's a situation? Yes. Because I'm still an adult. It doesn't look like it, but I still have to be an adult because it could be a situation where I wouldn't know what to do. And like it doesn't look like it. This light, oh my God.
Oh my.
Hates me. I swear to God, if this light falls one more time, it's fallen like 3 times in this podcast.
A curse!
Is it a ghost in the room? Man, I swear.
Maybe.
But anyway, yeah, I want to, again, like I said, I hate, I put up that statement because it was, I'm not going to get into what that situation was, but it was just something, I'm not mad at anybody for like causing it. I'm mad because it wasn't resolved. That's why I'm upset. That's why I was upset. Because normally when situations like that happen, both parties have to come mutual with each other, make peace, and that's it. Like that's what you're supposed to do. And no one was doing that. And that's why one person I think might have been trying to do it, but the other half was not. And that's what makes me mad. If one half of a party commits, other half party isn't committing. And it's something that gets me upset. I hate when one half of a party does not commit. Like it's just stupid. So that's why I put up that statement. I usually don't put up statements like that. Like when I put up stuff like that, that is actually when I'm mad. That's actually me being angry because that's when I had enough.
And I have a penchant for ranting myself.
I don't do it much. I don't. But it's like if it's a situation where it doesn't get resolved, then it's like I have to say something. Because if I'm the only person, one of the only people in the building that will listen to somebody, then you will see me put something up on my internet that doesn't put out any names, but it just says, "Hey, I think this needs to be handled this way," or else it's just not being handled at all. So,
and it's like, especially if it's been going on for years, that's insanity.
All I'm just gonna do is be an adult. That's it. Anyway,
I know. And by the way, the puppets, there's adult versions of everything. Obviously the furries are a thing. I mean, it's like initially you were thinking, okay, these people are dressing up as in kids' costumes to entertain the little ones, but no, there was something for an older crowd.
The thing about it is that every fandom has a bad side, but not every fandom has a village idiot. That's all. That's literally the best way I can put it. Every fandom has a bad side. Every community has a bad side, but not everybody is a village idiot. That's the best way I can put it. Not everybody is a village idiot.
And there's
always going to be at least one person who has the patience and the time to put up with people like me. Like I put up with everything. And it's like, I continue to hear everybody out because I want to hear everybody out. I want to be that person because I've dealt with people that didn't hear me out. And did I keep them in my life? Nope. They're gone, man. They're gone. And they are gone for good reason.
And when there's heroes and villains or heels and faces in the gaming world, just like in pro wrestling, well, there's some very notable heels in the gaming world. I will not mention their names. That will be a topic for some other day, but not tonight because we're at the 2.5 hour mark on this podcast.
I told you this episode was going to be your longest ever.
Next week may be a lot shorter, which is probably fine because I kind of need a break from the marathon session. But the curse. Let's talk about the curse for a second.
How many
Now,
more we got left other than the curse? We still got a few more, don't we?
We got a little bit left, but
okay. So the curse, the King Cam curse.
Okay, so early on this year, or beginning of this year, a couple of Monday Mystery games went down just after unveiling it. You were on the game at the time that they malfunctioned. And because it happened twice in a row, I said as a joke, you were cursed. You had a curse going.
I think, you know what? Can I be real? Can I actually be real about that?
Yes,
now that we got our topic that's on a funny side. So I don't know. I think this started with Skins game. Was that the first? No, was it Skins game? I think it might have been a game before this.
There's two different games that were involved.
I know the list has been Skin Games, Bandit. No. I think no. Or what was I think the game
did malfunction. Yes.
Skins
but
game?
I don't know if you were there.
It?
Skins game was having problems. Yes.
But I can't remember if there was a game before that. I think there was a game before it.
Yeah. I just don't know which one.
I don't know which one, but I know there was something before that. And I think oh my God. I don't know what happened. I think it just became a limerick joke, which I'm actually in favor of it being a joke. I was a little annoyed with it at first. After Skins game, I was annoyed with it. And then when Tank, I think it was Tank Battalion. I think it was Tank Battalion after the following week, I believe. I don't know.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
It was Bandit, I think.
Yeah, they had to fix the gas pedal.
The Bandit. I think it was Bandit. So Bandit was, well, the Bandit, I think it was a pedal issue. And I think when I went up to the game, I think I did the inaugural play. And I think I was just the only person at that time where I was like, okay, let's go. The Alistair curse. Yeah, the Royal Radio Demon curse. That's what it is. No, but
okay.
I went up to the cabinet, hit the steering wheel, hit the accelerator, and nothing. And then Skins game, I went up to the cabinet, tried to start a game, and then boom, that froze too. And then and then after that, it just continued to be a thing outside of the game, outside of Galloping Ghost again. I remembered I Uber Eats ordered a drink. Lady tries to hand me the cup and the bag, and she accidentally drops it in front of me. Plastic cup, mind you, and the whole drink was gone. Like, it was the worst. The whole thing was gone. And then like everything continued from there, little itty bitty things. Like as of right now, my phone's broken. My phone's also broken. And even a little bit of crazy hex going on. The lights were falling. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. This
well, some of the items they blamed on you when you really shouldn't have been blamed on, and I rightfully pointed those out. You weren't in the building and something went down, and it's like, no, you can't blame Brandon for that. He's not there.
Honestly, I mean, you can't. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was personally funny, and you want to know why it's funny? Because it kept me relevant. That's why it was funny. It basically kept me relevant, which I think was the greatest thing that probably could have been really hilarious. I love how my name was getting brought up about something I didn't really do, and I thought it was pretty funny. It's something that makes it entertaining, in my opinion. I love how
the flub at the beginning of this show was on me, not you. So
what was it? I think Doc read off Dan. I think it was Dan Iacobelli, Dana in the stream chat on Monday Mystery, reading out about King's curse, and Doc somewhat acknowledging that was pretty funny. So and even though Doc didn't have a clue what was going on about that, he just saw the comment and read about it. And he was like, maybe. So I thought it was pretty funny how he acknowledged it, even though he didn't know what was going on. I don't think he didn't know about that. I think he just saw it and read it. So, but
I would think he would have kind of figured it out because the 2 week in a row incident when you tried to play a game and it malfunctioned.
I think he might know about it. It's just all the matter of fact of if you know. It's just if he knows that it's a thing, it's a thing. I think it's just a thing for comedy, and I'm good with and I like comedy. So I think personally it was something funny. The King's Curse, and the King's Curse is still going to be a thing. I think it still will be because every single day there's always something weird going on, and like even when I'm not at GGA, I'm like at work, and there's like something weird every time. So it's like, you know, what can I do? But yeah. I think it's something it's not a bad thing. I think it's just entertainment, and I think it adds laughter. So I'm a fan of it. I like it. It's funny.
And what I do for a living is fixing malfunctions.
So
right now, computers everywhere around the state malfunction, and I have to figure out how to remotely fix them.
So can you fix the curse?
I don't know. I do point out when you are unfairly blamed for something going wrong, and say, no, the curse is on somebody else that particular moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Future goals.
All right.
Where do you want to go with your Mia persona? And you kind of alluded to that already about opportunities popping up.
Honestly, I just want to do more things with the fighting game community, quite honestly. More likely less commentary. I would love to do something in the commentary field for fighting game tournaments. I would definitely love to do that.
Will you go to Combo Breaker?
I've actually Combo Breaker has never been that far from me. I know there's other stuff like Frosty Faustings, there's Combo Breaker. Ignite has stuff, which I think is with the thing that Shady told me about, which is Low Kick Esports. I followed them on their Instagram as of late. So I might be like hitting them up in the near future. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So I can talk to them about maybe like, you know, starting to, you know, work with them maybe on something. It would be really nice. But I got to talk to them about like how I can do that and all that so I can like get some insight. But definitely I would love to do stuff in the esports community, like as a commentator. I would love to do that. So maybe something around those bounds.
Yeah. Combo Breaker coming up Memorial Day weekend in Schaumburg.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up quick.
I have a friend in Kansas who I think goes there twice a year sometime. Well, not twice a year, but every other year he'll go there to compete. So I'm well aware about it.
How about winning championship belts or tournaments at Galvin Ghost?
Oh God. Honestly, the only belt I keep touching is the hardcore belt because with the amount of competition that has more experience than me, honestly, even though there are you guys that are helping me out as the pros, you, Andrew, there's even some of the shmup guys, Matt, even y'all help me out a lot, but it's not even you guys, everybody gives me help. It's the fact that it's the flexibility and the time schedule for me that makes it hard, especially when I work my actual job as a barista almost a whole week and I never get a free moment. Most of the time, it's tricky. But I would love to find a way to work harder on those arcade games and get some more free time. It just depends on my own work schedule because that's what's so tricky. Because it's full time. And I mean, when it's full time, it is full time. Like I'm almost there like all week. Like literally once after Monday Mystery is over, I come home and I literally get my Starbucks apron and I refresh, refocus on working there because I'm always there after Monday Mystery, like the next day. But I do want to change that up and try to be at more GGA so I can work on maybe getting some more cards and some scores back.
Okay, maybe. The barista. Tell me what that is.
It's literally just coffee, man. It's just coffee, man. Lattes, all kinds of stuff. Espresso. It's a great job. I think it's probably my most favorite job I have right now. And I don't know if they're watching this, but shout outs to my managers, my GM, and my crew members who I work with, who I always tell them about Galloping Ghost all the time. And at the end of the day, they still never, they haven't, I mean, some of them have been there, but I mean, like they know that that's my place. They know that that's my place I go to when I'm not helping them on the floor. So they know how much I take it seriously as opposed to my actual job. They basically know that I've got a home there, like I've got a home here. So they're very respectable about it, in my opinion.
Do you have any plans to go to Midwest Gaming Classic? Or you mentioned C2E2, but Pinball Expo or others? You mentioned Colossal Con.
I know I'm going to go into Colossal Con, so that really affects the question of Midwest Gaming Classic, because I think that's in, I believe,
Milwaukee.
I know, but it's not that far from me. It's like about a drive, but it just depends on the availability. I'm always putting in most of my money. For the original plan was to come back to Colossal anyway because of the great experience I had with everybody that I met over there. So that's why I'm going back. I mentioned to Mini Beach about I really want to come back to Milwaukee, not even just for Midwest Gaming Classic, but for other events I was a part of. Because believe it or not, Milwaukee is one of the states that got me as a game show panelist, because I did cons over in that state for about 5 years. I was in downtown Milwaukee at the Hyatt Regency, and I was doing conventions like nobody's business back then.
So you're at the same venue, the Bard Center.
Yeah. We were there. Different convention, but same venue. But yeah, it was a good time, man. I put butts in the chairs for my panels. Like, I think I kept getting full house a good while every so often when I did the panels. I mean, because that's how good I did it. I set up everything early, checked everybody in, made sure everybody, was able to play as much as possible, and then pretty much wrap up a show and go get dinner with the guys that did the other panels. And then, yeah. So hopefully I get to go back to Milwaukee, because I loved Milwaukee, not just for Midwest Gaming Classic and but just other stuff overall too. I would love to get back to Milwaukee and do some more shows over there, because they're a great time.
So this is going to be the big 2-0.
Big 2-0?
20th.
20th.
Midwest Gaming. No,
Midwest Gaming Classic.
20th. The 20th time I've gone to Midwest Gaming Classic. The 20-year anniversary, to be exact, also, because the first one I attended was back in 2004 when it was at the Brookfield Sheraton. And then it moved to a ski resort location in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. And then it, after a few years, moved back to the Brookfield Sheraton. They outgrew that place. Well, they outgrew that place like crazy. And then they settled in to the Wisconsin Bard Center. And I've been there every year without fail, even the year when it was 6 months apart due to the COVID pandemic. It is a can't miss. As far as I'm concerned, it is a cannot miss convention. It's also the fastest 48 hours of the year, because I get up there and the time is gone before you even know it. I mean, yes, you spending a couple of nights up there. I get up there Friday and do the VIP or the pre-VIP party or whatever the heck it is.
Like some VIP like pre-party show or something.
Yeah, very important gamer. VIG, actually. And get the early goes on the arcade floor where all the pinballs, all the arcade machines. Yeah, there's other stuff, gaming concerts going on, console gaming, and yes, there's tournaments. The vendor hall opens Saturday, and it's like, I've spent way so much time in there, and I was like not buying as much as I used to, because I have way too many items that I bought that I hadn't played. So I need to I'll walk through the vendor hall, look for things that maybe I absolutely have to have.
But it's like you don't need. It's like the ones you just don't need.
Yeah, pretty much. Regardless, I want to do more of the tournaments on the convention floor. I actually won more. Last year, I kind of made a killing on prize winnings because, yes, I won $500 in one of those tournaments. If I had been a little bit better, I would have had a guitar to go with it.
Do you play guitar? Do you play guitar?
No, I do not play
that'd be
guitar.
interesting.
Somebody would have to teach me.
I was
But
gonna
it was
say
an $800 value if I had won. Because the last game in there was in the Jam on the SNES. If I had won that, I would have taken home a guitar besides $500. I also won some other stuff, various items. I actually had a shootout with Jim Patzer on Pac-Man, but running at twice the normal speed. That is, the board was running twice the normal speed. So, can you play it at twice the speed it normally goes? And we were going back and forth for a bit. But I still got what I wanted. I got a nice little beanie hat that says Garcade on it because that was hosted by Garcade. Took home some T-shirts too, and yeah. So I'm hoping to find some tournaments I can win at this year's Midwest Gaming.
Again, like I said, it depends for me if I'm gonna go or not. I don't really know. Honestly, me and Mini Beach are solidly booked for ColossalCon. I told him about going to stuff like the gaming conventions.
When is ColossalCon, by the way?
What's that?
And where? When is it?
So I believe ColossalCon is May. It's like after. I do have the one appearance at Anime Central, which I'm gonna do, which I'm excited for. But ColossalCon, I believe, is in the end of May, I believe. I can pull up the date.
Is it Memorial Day weekend?
May 29th through June 2nd. So
that's conflicting with Combo Breaker, so I assume you're not going to be able to hit both of them.
No, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I made good friends. I made a couple of new friends when I went to ColossalCon, so I want to go see those friends again. That's why I'm going.
What city?
Sandusky, Ohio.
Sandusky, Ohio. Okay.
I'll be at the. We're gonna be me and Mini Beach will be at the Kalahari Resort. It's a nice. It's awesome. I love it. The Kalahari is great.
Where's Sandusky?
Where you said? Where's Sandusky?
Yeah, in Ohio. So the northeast, west, or
I think
south?
It's No. I think it's like east. I believe.
If it's towards the northeast, I would. If it's towards the northeast end of the state, I hope you have enough time to run over to Youngstown, Ohio, and check out the new Pastime Arcade, which was being run by Rob Burke, who puts on the Pinball Expo, and that's giving that build that has 600 to 700 machines in there.
Well, I mean, it depends on Mini Beach's time and free time and how much free time we have when we're not at the con. But again, like I said, when we were there last year, we made the biggest vlog ever last year. This year, I think I want to do panels at this convention. That's why, again, once this podcast is done, I'm going to work on panel applications for both shows. So we want to, well, again, I mentioned earlier, I want to get back into the game show panel life because that's just another, again, I mentioned it's another part of life that I love doing before arcade games. It's the equal love that I have just as this. So we'll have to see.
Okay, I'm getting close to the end here. I better not forget about this one. What was the deal with Subway Surfers?
Subway Surfers? Is that what was this?
This was much earlier on in the podcast. I will scroll all the way back and try to pull that one up.
Subway Surfers? Is that a comment someone wrote? Yeah,
that was a comment. This.
Subway. Verbal Ace Surfers, more like Subway Surfers.
This was at almost 8 o'clock, 7:53 p.m. in the podcast.
So I know who Verbal Ace is because I know that's who I'm dressing up as for C2E2 and Anime Central coming up. So wait, will you want to know who Verbal Ace is?
You had some story about this.
About the Subway Surfers or the Verbal Ace thing?
Whichever.
I don't know about the Subway Surfers. I don't know what that
Whatever
is.
whatever the heck the reference was.
So I know the Verbal Ace reference. So Verbal Ace is a YouTuber that did cartoon beatbox battles for the longest time. I think even before I even knew it was a thing. And basically what happened was there was an animation that arose of himself being animated with Charlie from Hazbin Hotel. And basically what happened was it's like a music video. And yeah, it's like this your basic weird cringe music video where the canon character is chasing like after a fandom character. And basically the music video, it's like kind of calm at first, but then it gets a little risque, which I'm not going to get into that. Because if y'all want to know what that video is, look it up yourself. Verbal Ace 50K meme, you're welcome on YouTube. But basically, the joke behind the whole thing is that the animator spent $50,000 to get it made. And that's why it became like such a joke as of late. It literally became one of those things like a man wasting $50,000 to be animated with a fictional character that is one of the most ridiculous things on the internet that a man can do who is actually married. He is married, by the way. Verbal Ace is actually married, which I learned a little bit after, so it was really funny. So yeah, that's basically the joke behind that is he spent $50,000 to be animated with a fictional character that isn't even real. And pretty much the internet just took advantage of that joke. Like if you go on YouTube right now and even look it up, you'll still find stuff people are making about it to this day. And they're making other parodies of it. And it's like that. Also, the song that was used in the music video, I don't know it's called The Hideaway. And the song is pretty good. It's a pretty good song. It's like decent, but it's like a very commonly known song with the Charlie character now. Anytime anybody draws like a picture of her. So it's one of those kind of jokes. It's basically the biggest money wasted joke on the internet right now. I mean, it's $50,000. I don't know. I've never met anybody who had spent that much money. I know there was a former wrestler by the name of Mandy Rose. She had an OnlyFans, and somebody spent $55,000 on that, and that made me think of that same situation. So, yeah, it's pretty much one of those like, if people have $50,000, they're just gonna, or that much money, they'll just do whatever they want.
I had to cave. These two were not banging on the door, so I let them in. They were not gonna. I just like, fine. You want in here bad enough.
They said time's up.
Yeah. All right. Wrap this up a little bit. What if you were chosen as Gamer of the Year? What game would you choose?
Oh man. I know I mentioned.
I warned you about this one, so.
Oh, man. Well, honestly, I mean, I did mention winning Gamer of the Year once would be great. I don't know if it would ever happen. I mean, I can't really doubt myself. It's something that I don't know if it'll happen or not. I would love to win.
Okay, so I never thought I'd win Gamer of the Year either, but things kind of aligned in such a way where I had a path. That's not the way. However, a pandemic is not really the preferred way of a path opening up because a bunch of people lost their lives due to this. And would I trade Gamer of the Year for the pandemic never happening? I probably would say yes.
So personally for me, I came in at a time a little after the pandemic. So, I mean, I've only had a couple of WRs in the building. I don't think that's really technically enough to get into that like spot. It's enough to get noticed, but I don't think it's enough to get in that Game of the Year spot. But I
would try to get in the top 20 in the power rankings at least.
I could probably try again. That would just again require me to be at the arcade probably a little bit more and look for some games that would get me enough tokens on arcade to get me into that spot. I mean, that I could probably try.
Well, tokens, there's one metric, overall tokens. The tokens for the high scores figure into the power rankings. Now, my rank I'm sitting at number 13 in the power rankings, but I'm sitting at number 4 in overall tokens. Andrew is the Ghost Rider of the power rankings. James White is Professor Token Taker of the overall tokens metric. But Andrew is closing in on James, although he's got to earn another 1,000 tokens to get there.
Well, the thing is with and Andrew's really good. It's like, you know, man, he's good. Andrew is really, really good. So it's like, I feel like if I were ever to get that Gamer of the Year title, I actually have to beat some of his stuff. But it's like, it's like, you know, he's too good. It's like if I did beat something that Andrew had, I think he'll be able to just take it right back. It's because it's that nuts. He's that good. And he's also there more than
it also took years.
Huh?
To chase. It took several years for Andrew to chase down Pete Hahn.
Andrew's he's literally a 2-time Gamer of the Year. Like and I give him credit.
He wants 3.
Honestly,
I have no doubt he wants a 3rd.
He's literally heading in that direction right now with.
Although I thought he would have gotten it last year. Really?
Well, I see somebody really familiar in the chat. Chloe just came in. Hello, Chloe. I remember Chloe. But yes, I do remember. Andrew's on. I think he is on his way because again, I feel like every time there's a readout, Andrew's been the most common name I'll always hear, which it's just a sign that he's on it. He's on it. Like I wish I had that much power to be on it like Andrew does because he's there again. He's there like maybe 3 days a week. So
twice a week at least, Monday and Thursday, although he came in Wednesday, apparently.
But again, like even doesn't matter when he comes, he rocks the boat. Like I kid you not. Like as of this moment, he has got he's got the house high on hook at this moment as we speak. I looked this morning. Like he's got it.
I only played it once, and I was like dead tired at that point.
But again, he's worked. But yeah, he's Andrew Lasco. He literally destroys. Like I kid you not. Like he is probably one of the most hardest working players in the arcade. Like he literally gets right to it. Like he doesn't even waste any time. I mean, yeah, him and I talk, and you know he gives me a nice conversation. I'm really thankful for him doing that too. But when he doesn't talk, he's on it. He's on it. Like there's no joke. He is on it. Like I'll turn a corner and I'll see Andrew with this camera on a cabinet, and he's getting that game down. Like there's nothing to it, nothing. But yeah, no. If I was Gamer of the Year, I guess if I ever did get, I don't know. That's something that Doc would have to look at.
I mean, you pick the game, and then they would try to find it.
Well, I think
that's how that works.
Personally, I think the game I would love to see is. Personally, I would love to see either Wonder Momo from Namco or you know that one?
I know what it is, yes.
Wonder Momo, or I've been always saying this every month, every time I'm at GGA to Andrew, but Tower of Jiraga, I would love to see as well. I would love to see that too. It just depends though. But the other thing is this, like the other thing that goes with those games is that I feel like Doc might have them already. Because remember, I've been there for 3 Monday mystery games. I've been there for 3 Monday mystery games already that I predicted that I think Doc could get, which were Pack and Pal, Toy Pop. Toy Pop was at T20 and Fozon. I did not think those on my list would not appear in the arcade floor. I didn't think Doc would have those games because I feel like those games and the hardware that it takes to run them, like the boards, I feel like they would be things that I don't know if he was going to be able to get, but he proved me wrong and he got them. So, and that's what makes Doc a great collector, because he again keeps proving to the other game collectors that he's getting stuff that not many other people can get their hands on, and that's why the arcade has been the way it is, because he's continuing to get stuff that nobody else can get. So
if I were to get it a second time, the game I'd pick would be Rompers, and that is on
I would actually like to see that.
That is a Namco game. It was Japan only release, but it's shown up on those arcade 1-up devices. And then Pac-Man's Arcade Party, or Pixel Bash, actually.
Would he actually get that? That's like a multi
Rompers?
Oh, Rompers I can understand, but
as an individual game, I mean, no, I doubt.
Pac-Man Pixel Bash.
I don't think Doc would get a multi-game. He's avoiding the multi-game, I think, unless it's a Neo Geo 6-slot.
There's one more. There's actually, hold on, I forgot about one more. My bad, but I forgot about one more. There is the Namco Classics collection. I mentioned these two before. But I would love for this to be his only multi-cade cabinet. Namco Classic Collection Volume 1 and 2, which had the arrangement games.
Yeah.
I would love to see those. I saw one of those at Anime Central last year. And hopefully Doc will get one of those. I know it has dupes in it of the original games that are already on the floor, but it has those arrangement games. So if a Monday Mystery in the future, maybe those will be the top thing. I mean, I don't know, but it would depend on if they are hidden in the vaults, as Doc says, which I'm pretty sure they are.
You know what? I wonder if somebody who reaches the kill screen on the Pac-Man on the Namco with the Volume 1 or 2 has a modified, if the kill screen is a little bit different, and then the final score for a max out is kind of like different from the original hardware and the 20th anniversary edition. And then Billy Mitchell will have to come in and try to do a perfect game on that.
I know Billy. I know Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
We'll see if he does. I mean, maybe he might. I mean, I'm pretty sure
we'd have to determine if the kill screen was different first, though. That's the other thing.
I'm pretty sure he's committed to just doing it on the original cabinets. But I mean, if it's got an alternative take on it, maybe he would do it. But again, those games are different versus the original board of it. So we'll see. Quick shout outs to, I know somebody, right? Speaking of Namco and Midway, there is one more person I'm gonna give a shout out to, and I don't know if this happened or not. John Liming. John Liming, as of I think this week, was going for the Galaga world record, I believe. I don't know if there's been an update on that ever since, but I know they talked about it. I have seen
nothing. I've heard nothing. And I also wanted to find out who won the hardcore match between Matt Fowler and Ray.
That
would have been on Tuesday. I had the hardcore belt. I had a streak of 13 before and decided to invoke matchmaker rule and vacate the belt and crown the new champion that way.
I think it might have been Fowler. It could be Matt. I have no idea. It depends.
I know neither one held the belt before.
I'll probably get that answer on Monday. But yeah, okay. I would love to see Tower Druaga, the Namco Classics Collection, Volume 1 or 2, Wonder Momo. And I think those are my top 3. Well, top 4, because Namco Classics 1 and 2 are technically 2 different games. But Wonder Momo, Tower Druaga, and the Namco Classic Collection. But that's if I win Gamer of the Year, which we have to wait and see how that looks.
Yes. Okay. So this is the next guest on the program. It'll be Damian Cordova. He is a Blade Wars contender. Now, possibility, he may come into the podcast as the new Bloody Wars champion because they're supposed to have best of 7 this weekend, actually.
Is it this weekend?
Yes.
Oh, the one time I have to close. I have a closing shift, but hopefully I can watch them on the stream, though, if the stream works out.
Or you can catch it on replay. But regardless,
yeah. Well, we'll see.
King Cordova will be on the show next Thursday as Cody has hopped back into my lap. Who should I have on the podcast after Damien?
Is this a question for me?
That's a question for you.
It is a really
who should I have? Who should I have on the podcast?
That's a really good question. I mean, Damien's a great choice because Damien is somebody that's red hot on Norbert's tail right now when it comes to the Bloody Wars belt. That's for sure. Oh my gosh, I have no.
You had a few hours to think about it.
I know, but there's too many possibilities, and well, you also have to look at the flexibility of schedules for everybody too. Like, I don't know. That's it's honestly a really good question. Maybe, let's see. You already built half of the Bloody War. Well, not all the Bloody Wars roster, but I mean,
No, you're the third person on this podcast.
The third person?
I've only done this. I've only done, this is the third episode of this.
Well, I mean,
I got a long way to go on,
I know
people on the show.
Well, I know they're going to be they'll replay this episode a lot on Twitch on the VOD. But anyway, I think personally, let's see. So you already did Damien, you did Norbert.
Damien's next.
Oh, well, Damien's next. I would personally, let's see. I would personally, let me see, because you already got Damien. Actually,
oh gosh. Top 3 if you can't narrow it down.
Let's see.
Pick somebody. Pick somebody.
Oh my gosh. I know who you should get. I don't know if she would do it, but now that I was on here, I think you should get Sam.
Cool.
You Absolutely. Should get Sam.
I'll see if she'll do it.
I'll text her. I'll let her know that I brought it up. But I think Sam would be a very interesting one to follow that up.
Yeah.
It would be a very interesting one to follow that up, especially with what happened to her, you know?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So, I mean,
I do.
I'll let her explain it if she chooses to.
Yeah, but you
could tell me off air if you want.
Yeah, I know what happened, but I think Sam would be a very controversial.
Controversial
on the Crimeycade. Oh, yes. Sam would be probably really good to have after Damien, but you know.
I was expecting this to be a pleasant one-on-one interview, not controversial. If I have her on the podcast.
No, I don't think it really will actually be controversial. I don't think so. But I know it will be just as interesting as this episode with me being on it. So I think you should definitely try and see if you can get Sam. I saw Norbert just writing a message saying, no, Michelle can't do the podcast.
Well, we know. Yes.
Oh, I read that, but I missed the message above that says, yes, he did choose Damien for this one. Which I'm interested. Well, that's and it's interesting that he did. But yeah, he did choose. He did choose him.
Okay. Well, one other update. Arcade Wars is going on. So where's it stand?
Crushing it.
Yeah.
You're crushing it. Look at that. Look, yes. Come on.
There is no way.
Who's gonna beat Pete?
Who's gonna? Well, there's only one score so far that's even higher than any of the 3 that Galvin Ghost put up, but just barely. Nate Valentine has a slightly higher score than James White. But Andrew, his first score was like 2 million, but now he's doubled it. So
the 4 million and the 5 million should have us solid. Like,
yes, there is no. You had better go very far in the game.
I gotta practice it more. But I gotta practice it a little more. I gotta strategize on Punisher. I think we still have we gotta have a week. We got a week and a half.
We got 1 week left, but nobody's even close right now.
Honestly,
Nate Valentine as the only 3 million score, and everybody they're gonna have to put up like 4 million average to even have a chance.
Personally, I don't know who could touch that 5 million. I mean, Nate's getting there. And then of course you got Jim hanging on for dear life. Jim's working hard too.
Yeah.
The other guys at Underground Retrocade, they have it too. Like Charles, Charles with 2,193,400.
Yeah.
Tim 1,102,000. Like it still could be anybody's game. I mean, again, right now it looks like it's been about a few weeks already that nobody's been able to overshadow Pete Hahn. Like,
No.
and I'll give it where credit is due. And I remember Pete Hahn. Like, I remember seeing Pete when I come in on Mondays. That was another thing I never got to touch up on. Like, Pete was the best. Pete was one of my favorites. Like, he's a great kind-hearted soul that worked the front of the arcade. And it's not the same without him, but I mean, hey, we got other people now. And Pete, and the fact that you see a score with his name on it is a great sign that he's still hanging out with everybody. And
yes.
he's also a former Gamer of the Year. So
twice.
Yeah, he's a 2-time, right?
Yes, twice.
Yeah, you can't forget about that. He just like Andrew. So it's like,
well, this is the other thing. I wish he would, since he's not an employee of Calvin Ghost, I'd like to see him there at T20, but so far he has not done that. And I don't know if he's going to do it this year either.
Well, you have to realize again that he works at Nether. Yeah, as Norbert just mentioned.
Now he would be somebody to ask about all these doggone YouTube videos about Mortal Kombat 1, what he thinks of them, if it's all a bunch of hooey or whatever. But
I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he doesn't pay attention to him. I don't think he does. I don't think he pays attention to it because he works on the game and that's all. He'll be anyway. But yeah, no. Oh, Chloe mentioning, I don't think I'll be competing this month. I had to drive out 3 hours and I don't play this game. Good luck to the Ghosts. I hope y'all win this one. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a solid. I mean, again, unless if somebody beats Pete Hahn, then I don't think we can lose this one, in my opinion. So we're just going to have to wait and see if someone picks up the slack. But I don't. Pete Hahn scores are ridiculous. So
all right,
we'll see.
There is one other high score tournament going on, and that's locally in Springfield. Dumb Records is holding a tournament on Turbo, and it's a month long. And I'm going to go in there this Saturday and try to leave everybody in the dust.
Oh boy, are you tried to Troy?
I don't. The high so far is not that big of a hill to climb, and my personal best is higher than the current high score there, so maybe I got a good chance. Claudio also lives out. Claudio lives out here too in nearby Chatham. I told him about it. Now that I got contact information from him, so he may post score on that game. He took my score on LED Storm, and I got to practice this at home. The later levels, anyway. Yeah, he walked by me. He didn't know I was there. I was on JJ Squawkers, and he just like, oh, hi. Sorry, I just took your score on LED Storm.
He said, hey, do you mind if I just kind of... He said, hey, do you mind if I just kind of sneak in and take this score? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I love Claudio. I met Claudio at last year's T20. He's actually pretty cool, too. I enjoy it. He's a good dude, too. Oh, but you can see him score as well.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. KingCamBlackMan, you're on Twitch, too. When you streaming next?
That's a really good question. I know I talked about it, mentioned it on the Up and Up. I know there are some games on the horizon. I know my top 3, and I'm pretty sure if Allison is still in the stream chat, she's gonna love one of these. I know the next couple of games I want to focus on before con season are Tekken 8, Palia, and there was one more
Palia. Which is,
yeah. It's like a, I don't know what kind of, it's hard to explain this game. It's like some kind of open world game, kind of like Genshin Impact, but different, not Genshin Impact. But you'll see that game in the future. But there was one more. So there was that game. Tekken 8. I really want to start doing Tekken 8 streams, because I want to work on that game, because I did play in the Tekken 3 tournament a while back, so I want to focus on that. There is going to be a Mortal Kombat 1 stream on the horizon. I'm going to start practicing that game, I guess, for the tournament.
Right.
I'm going to work on that as well. Norbert mentioning Pal World, which I'll
that's been making headlines lately.
What's that?
That's been making a bunch of headlines lately.
I've been hearing about this at work. So I'm going to be working. Yeah, there goes Allison. Should enough for Palia. And that was the reason, Allison, I wanted to wait until that game hits PC. And now that there's actually been a date, now I can start working on that game. So boom, there you go. Surprise. But yeah, mostly I think Palia, Tekken 8. I don't remember what the third game is in my mind. I think it might have been something, but I don't know. But you'll see it when it comes around. Palia and Tekken 8 are going to be the top two before I hit convention season. So I'm looking forward to those two.
All right, Brandon Travis, thank you for joining me. This went for 3 hours and 20 minutes, which is a lot longer than I expect. Well, twice as long as I thought it would last. But I don't know. I'm long-winded. So are you. And we covered a lot of ground. And I
got
enjoyed
panel
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got panel applications and stuff to work on tonight, so I'm gonna be up for a little longer. But I
go to work tomorrow. That's another thing.
What's up?
I go to work tomorrow, so
I also have to close 2 days in a row. So hopefully, when I go back to work tomorrow and see my barista friends, hopefully they'll see this podcast and let them know how things. And then if it's not, they'll be on the VOD and it'll be on YouTube or wherever it's gonna go.
All right, KingCam, have a good night. All right, so that was the Crimeycade podcast, episode 3. Damian Cordova will be joining us next week. After that, I don't know. I would like to interview Andrew on this podcast, or maybe I'll have Jose on after Damian. We'll see. But there's a number of possibilities.
We'll get the word out.
Doc Mac actually said that he would come on the show too.
Okay. I mean,
at some point.
Start small. I would say start small and just work your way up to work your way up to like the big league guests like Doc and all that stuff. Like,
like I said, I was going to interview all the people that I know first, and then if people outside the circle may be after that. But there's a lot of people that I know that I can get in here and have a good discussion with, and I enjoyed it. So looking forward to next week.
There you go. We got another one awaits.
All right. This is the Crimeycade podcast. It will be on Twitch for about a week. It will get reposted on my YouTube channel at some point, and tiny.cc/pwci. Yeah, there's a whole ton of wrestling content on there, but as I do more episodes, the gaming content will kind of start to overtake the wrestling content, but that'll be a long, hard slog. In the meantime, I am the man conservative crime fighter, Stephen Lucas, former Gamer of the Year, former Hardcore Champion, former T20 Champion, and also the current reigning Pinball Expo Champion. And hopefully, I'll add the C2E2 title and maybe the Bloody Wars title as well. I did have something to say about Bloody Wars. I'll have to cover that next week with Damian. But in the meantime, 3 hours, 20 minutes. That was quite the marathon. And I guess the cats are glad that they got access to this room after they're banging the doors for so daggum long trying to get in here. But till next time, have a good night, everybody, and hope to see you around the arcade soon.